Hello everyone and welcome to a game called the Cardinal Park Case. This is a collection of 4 chapters and we're going to play all 4 of them. Let's go ahead and start a new game. We're going to figure out all the mysteries. This game contains death, murder, blood, swearing, dark jokes, stupid jokes, hot women, hot men, cute cats kissing the dead, and gore. So, if you're sensitive, don't watch it. Would you like to view the spoiler content warnings? Heck yeah, let's do it for you guys. This game also contains gaslighting, themes in enmeshment. Enmeshment? Hold on, let me look it up. I don't know what that means. Alright, enmeshment is a dysfunctional relationship dynamic where emotional boundaries are so blurred or non-existent that individuals lose their sense of autonomy. Okay. Guilt, trauma, depression, coercion, and emotional instability. Reader discretion is advised, and viewer discretion is advised. Now, dear readers, let us begin. Chapter 1. Remains. Hello, Father. Hello, Father. How has everything been for you? Ever since the last time our paths converged, I've been up to a lot. I've been cracking cases left and right, just like you would have wanted. At least, that's what I hope you would have wanted. In spite of this, sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. I know that my seniors at the office are there to guide me and all. Even Mother could guide me. But I don't think that it could ever replace your guidance. Stop it, Oliver. You're not supposed to be getting like this. You prepare yourself to wipe hot tears from your face. And you prepare to tell yourself that you're crying because of the frigid air. Before you can do either of those things, however, you feel a small snowflake touch your skin. And before you know it, snow begins falling, like feathers from a flock of pigeons at a piece of bread. You whip out an umbrella in response to the white specks. And just like that, all of those thoughts that have been perturbing you for the past decade have disappeared. And they're replaced with a... Ah, fuck. It's nothing. I was supposed to be on my way back anyways. Still though, just my luck for our meeting to get cut short by the weather. Goodbye, Father. I will see you soon. This tomb reads, Lily Belrose, a flower plucked too soon, died of an allergic reaction to roses. And at the foot of the tombstone, is a bouquet of roses, ironically. What the frick are you doing? About to tread on a grave? And disrespect the dead like that? What am I doing? What, you want to reenact that case where the girl was sitting on top of one of those stones? I guess not. What's this? You know, if you try to strip and sit on the tombstones, you're gonna die of hypothermia before dying of embarrassment. Wasn't planning on doing that now, come on. A grave with a bottle of beer stuck in the snow. You can't make out what the name on the tombstone is. Whoever was carving out the name on the grave must have been drinking something to have done a job like this. Still though, I'm not about to begin picking apart a shoddy tombstone job. Someone must have been happy enough with it to have it here. There's this little thing called look from far, far away and don't touch. What are these little tiny things? Are they birds? Oh, they are birds, aren't they? Let's get out of here. You walk back to your home. You don't live too far from the graveyard, for better or for worse. But at least it makes it easier to wake up early and come here without having to worry about some unholy things happening to you. You make sure not to announce that you're home as you slip off your coat. You make sure not to announce that you're home as you slip your coat off of your shoulders. After all, you know that Mother really wouldn't be too happy with you going out this early. If I'm recalling the time correctly, classes should be starting soon. I better go upstairs and finish my write-ups. Shoes. Don't really get how Mother can walk in snow while wearing high heels. Then again, you can't talk given the little heel on your boots. Seems like a lovely little home you got here. Strange, the fireplace has been lit. As tempted as you are to get cozy near the fireplace, you know you have more protective things to do right now. The refrigeration unit. You can recall plenty of cases where a body was hidden in a fridge. Sometimes you half expect the body to flop out of here and crash onto you. Thankfully, no one in this household is a murderous psychopath. At least not yet. A very simple sink. A sink that hasn't been used to clean the blood off of a knife. Plates. Very expensive plates at that. Mother's tried to throw one of these at you, much like how you're sure she did during fights with your father. Not very nice. A trash can. What more is there to say about it? What, it's empty? That's too obvious. Like manly badass hero's soul. Umbrellas. You have way too many for 2 people, due to how windy it can get in the city. And because Mother has a tendency of trying to whack you with them, much like how she did to your father. Come on, what's with your mother and just hitting people? Whenever you look at the stairs to the basement, you're reminded of that case where the corpses of children were kept in the basement. You can vividly remember their bodies carelessly strewn about the floor, surrounded by maggots and roaches. Clearly, you were too late to save them. You were even too late to at least save their corpses from decay. Sometimes when you go down here, you half expect to relive that horrifying scene. Let's not go down there then. What's in here? Ah yes, the door to the most glorious of rooms, the bathroom. In spite of the fact that your diet consists mostly of caffeinated beverages, you don't need to go. Oh, there's a very tiny spider in my room. Oh boy, I have a friend. A potted flower sits on the table. For some reason, you find the appearance of flowers blooming during the winter to be very pretty. You wish you could be like that. Let's go back. What's this room? Tell me. This looks like my room. I'm gonna go in this room. This is probably my mom's room? My parents' room? Mother's jewelry. A good chunk of it was gifted to your mother from your father. Of course, after his death, she sold a bunch of jewelry, leaving this mere fraction. Strange. She seems to be missing an earring for one of the pairs. Hopefully the other one turns up soon. The only landline in this house, not that you use it all that often, seeing as to how you don't have too many people to talk to. You do know that Mother spends a lot of time here, though. Can you go in here? This is the way to Mother's closet. You have absolutely no good reason to go in there. At all. Alright, let's not then. This is Mother's lamp. She turns it on sometimes. She turns it on and off. That's what the lamp does. It turns on and off, guys. Have you ever turned a lamp on before? Oh my goodness. An ornate bookshelf, doing a serviceable job at holding the books above the ground. Even though you're not a law student, most of these books are about the law. In spite of the amount of money you have, you don't really have too many articles of clothing. Well, I have always been more of a quality over quantity type of person. Ah, yes. Oh. Uh-oh. I ruined whatever that was, I think. What do I need to move that box for? Is there something I can't reach? Oh, my coffee's up there. Do I need it to get my coffee? If you were a good detective, your papers wouldn't be strewn about the table in this way. At the very least, it's organized chaos to you. You sit down on the chair, fighting the childish urge to spin on it. In all honesty, you don't know why you have one of those chairs, if you've never spun on it. You get to your write-ups, only to fall asleep. That's what you get when you decide to spend an entire night writing, only to sleep for 3 hours. Since you are asleep, you don't realize... Ugh. Is that my mom? She looks mad, as always. Wake up! The look on Mother's face tells you that she's gonna go off on you. Again. Did you go outside? Hell no. This is exactly why you decide to wake up at 4 in the morning to go out. And somehow, your poor mother knew. So you get 3 hours of sleep for no reason. As a result of your scandalous subterfuge, you will now be a recipient of your poor mother's concerned ramblings. She'll then get so stressed that she has a heart attack and dies, all because you made her so damn concerned. What a good son you are. Don't even bother lying to me. Don't even bother lying to me. There's snow on your clothing and on your hair. It doesn't take a detective to figure out that you were outside. Every single time that you come back here from school or work or whatever, the first thing that you do is coop yourself up in here. What compelled you to go outside today, of all days? It isn't even that nice outside. Mother, first off, I like cold weather. I find that it calms my mind down. That's something I've really been needing, you know? That's something I've really been needing, you know? Because you constantly stress me out, and I need to get away from here to calm my mind down. Do you think I'm nagging you? What? No, you're not nagging me. Where did you get such an idea from? Didn't you imply that I make your mind tired? No, that's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that's nice to get some air. Yeah, right. I believe you. I believe that you love cold, dry air and chapped lips. Why were you really outside? Were you on a date with someone? Fine, I was at the graveyard. You know, didn't we speak about this? You can't keep holding on to a dead man. That dead man was my father. He was my husband, yet you don't see me moping around over his grave. I'm not moping. I'm just coming to terms with everything. Really? After 10 years? You're focused on spending time at his grave, lamenting the fact that he's gone, instead of appreciating who's still here with you. Your mother. How about this? I just baked cookies. Maybe those will get you out of this mood. I'll come down once I'm finished doing... You're gonna stop spending your days working on these cases. I was actually... Then stop working on schoolwork. I can do whatever I want. She grabs you by the arm and begins dragging you downstairs away from your precious case files. Arranged in front of you are 2 large trays of massive diabetes-inducing cookies. If the baker wasn't your mother, you would assume they're trying to kill you from all this sugar. You know, most parents yell at their children for not doing their work. It seems as though the subject of your conversation with her hasn't changed at all. You're not surprised that the issue was dragged on for this long, but you are starting to want this to stop. I guess that's why she's that concerned for me, huh? Instead of yelling at you for ignoring your work, here I am yelling at you for doing work. It's like I can't win. You can't exactly say anything to her about this. What? Do you not like spending time with me anymore? So much like your father, both in the good and bad ways. Her gaze falls on you in anticipation for your response. Of course, when have you ever known how to comfort her? In the end, you decide that if you cannot comfort her with words, you would at least comfort her by eating her cookies, as much as you dislike them. You also decide to change the topic of the conversation to something much more light-hearted like. So, Mother, how was last night for you? I know that you were excited about finally going out. Last night was the best night I've had since you were born. I met the 2 nicest gentlemen, and they did a lot for me. Although, I do think that I lost one of my earrings while I was out. Oh, I could help with that. Just tell me where you went, and I'll survey the area to find the earring. Really, it's fine. I don't need you finding the earring. I have plenty more pairs. Are you sure? It really wouldn't be much of a problem for me, and you'd get... It's fine. Now, stop dragging on this issue for so long. Don't force yourself to not sigh in resignation. You know that would only make this conversation worse. Thus, leaving the 2 of you to eat these sugar bomb cookies in silence. You quickly finish up your tray and return it to the kitchen. That's all you had? Why couldn't you make him like a nutritious breakfast? Mom? Like eggs, bacon, bread, toast, like cereal even? Why does it have to be cookies? Maybe you finished it a bit too quickly? Here she comes. Oh god. In all honesty, you finished up the cookies so quickly because you have classes soon. Though you also knew that if you didn't finish the cookies, Mother would accuse you of hating her baking, but that's besides the point. However, you know that she'll never take the explanation, even if it is the truth. Have I been a bad mother? Is that why you've been looking for excuses to get away from me? Leave him alone. You know, there's no winning this argument. All that you can do is get the heck out of here. Me being away from you has nothing to do with you. I just have a lot of work. Yeah, worse work. Long time consuming work that forces you to go out of the house for at least 18 hours a day. If it will make you a bit happy, I'm not supposed to have any cases to work on for the next few days, so I'll kindly devote my next few days to you, and not myself. Because apparently I don't matter. So I'll be spending more time with you. And besides, winter break is almost here. So it's just a few more weeks until you have me all to yourself, because I'm not allowed to have a social life or anything, am I? You promised me that you'll spend all of your time with me, right? I promise. Good. You best be on your way. And don't forget, I love you more than anyone else ever could. I love you too. If you love me, let me go! If you love me, let me go! Oh, and be home early. It's supposed to snow tonight. I wouldn't want my son to freeze to death. You glance at her in acknowledgement and step outside the house. I mean, if you have work, how much do you get paid? It seems like you're a detective, right? If you're a detective, you should get paid pretty good, right? So just move out. I would move out. I would have moved out. Sorry. I would have moved out. Winter mornings have always unsettled you a bit. All sound is muffled by the fluffy snow, except for the wind's whispers in your ears. This silence acts as a double-edged sword for you. On one hand, it's refreshing to not have constant noise blasting in your ears, whether it's from the city's ambience or mother's concerns for you. Still, though, the air is so still and silent that you feel yourself tense up. It's the perfect time for something horrible to happen to you, or more importantly, to your mother. The snow would muffle the sounds of your screams, if you even could scream. You're about to continue thinking about all the bad things that could happen when you finally arrive at the train station. You then board the next 6 train to Cobalt Street, hoping that there aren't any delays. You gaze out the window looking at darkness. Very engaging, yes. It's the best way to start the day, waking up in the dark morning, followed by a dark hour-long train ride. You don't mind it too much, since it makes it much easier to take a very light nap. Too heavy and you'll probably miss your stop, or get beaten up. The streets of Libretto City. It's just as foggy as it usually is here. Even though you managed to partially drift off to sleep on the train, you're still exhausted. I wouldn't say I'm sleep deprived, but a nice cup of coffee is the perfect way to start the day. I better stop off at Moonbill's as soon as possible. That place usually gets packed in the morning. A sign that displays the drink of the month for Moonbill's. The drink of December is another cinnamon pumpkin drink. Just like last month's drink. And the month before. And the month before. And the month before that. And the month before that. And the month before. Oh, look, it's 69X. Oh, so funny. Someone spilled their drink here. Maybe I could get a free drink out of it if I just lick the table real quick, guys. Just give me a big... Some Moonbill's merchandise. Very pricey merchandise at that. You are tempted to buy a couple of bags of the Pallor roast, but you don't know if Mother would like it too much. Oh yeah, I can't use my own money to buy anything I want. Another reason to move out. Just as always, the line is incredibly long at Moonbill's. You naively thought that arriving early might spare you the pain of waiting for someone to finish ordering a extra large Americano with a cup of 0.1% milk, 157 degrees hot, with 1.1 shots of espresso, 69 grams of sugar, a pinch of caramel, and cold foam. But it seems as though all of these other people had the same idea. Well, at the very least, I Don't think that anyone here has the energy to even order a deranged drink, right? I need a small iced latte. You perk up upon hearing the orders. For whatever reason, it seems as though lattes tend to be the most chaotic drinks. With whipped cream. So far, nothing too out of the ordinary. But make it mostly whipped cream. I'm on a diet, and I'm not having you screw it up. And I want the whipped cream to be hot, and put some diet soda in there. Now, ma'am, we don't have diet soda, but we can put some Splenda sweetener in it. No! Don't you dare tell me what to do. Splenda will ruin my diet, so shove some diet soda in there or else. Okay, geez. For so much for a sane drink or a customer that isn't a bit off the rails. And so much for not taking too long to get a drink. It took around 5 minutes to make that lady's latte whipped cream thing. And pretty impressive considering that the barista had to go out and buy some diet soda with her own hard-earned money. Around 30 minutes pass before you're able to finally place your order. At the very least, you know that you won't be late for class. As you go to the front of the line to order, you're greeted with a, "Hey, Oliver, I wasn't expecting to see you here." "Ah, Emma, I didn't expect to see you here at this time." "Usually I work the evening shift." "No wonder I haven't seen you here. I never come here in the evening." "Yeah, unfortunately my boss is making me work a double shift. With the holidays coming up and stuff, they all want all employees at all times." "Has your boss at least increased your pay?" "No, you have that much faith in my boss?" Guess it was a mistake to assume that your boss would abide by the law. Anyways, enough chatting. What can I get for you? The usual? The usual, huh? I was going to get a latte, but a simple Americano would also be nice, if she does know my usual. Let's test this out. I'll have the usual, please. Over ice? Or are you sane enough to not get an iced drink in the middle of winter? I've been questioning my sanity lately, but I'm not that far gone yet. Alrighty, your drink will be done in a few seconds. Emma rapidly prepares your drink, and just as she said, she only takes a few seconds. And here's your triple shot Americano that I don't know how you stomach. So you do know my usual. How'd you figure it out? Do I really look that much like an Americano person? It's all in the intuition of the barista, hopefully. Enjoy your drink. I will. Oh, and please keep the change. You give her a $10 bill, and in return she gives you the most glorious Americano you've ever laid eyes upon. Can I see it? No? Got a triple shot Americano. You should probably find somewhere to sit down while you drink this. Don't I have to get to, like, school or something? It seems as though someone had the unfortunate experience of spilling their coffee right after purchasing it. The clock's ticking, reminding you that you don't have forever here. Oh, I guess I'll sit here at the only clean table. You sit down on the hard seat, ready to enjoy your daily dose of caffeine. Oh, I do get to see it. This drink is perfection. You make sure to savor the drink, letting the scalding liquid warm your cold throat. You're feeling so cozy that you probably could fall asleep here. You're feeling so cozy that you almost forgot about the troublesome conversation you had with Mother. And you're feeling so cozy that you almost forget that this place is getting crowded insanely quickly. Of course, that is until this guy comes in. He lightly taps you on the shoulder, but you assume that he's gonna jump you, but instead... Pardon? You're Oliver Cypress, right? Yes, and I know you from... Dude, we share a poetry class together. Remember Miss Francis? Lame class? I believe that I remember you now. You're Cox, correct? Yep, the one and only Edward Cox. Say, I saw you chatting with the barista girl. You were watching us from the window? Yes, I was chatting with her. What significance does it hold to you? Dude, stop with the big funny words. I don't understand the stuff you're saying. Big words, really? You haven't seen anything yet. Anyways, you two seem to have a pretty good rapport. Won't you help a fellow dude out by telling me about her? That information isn't for me to disclose. It's her choice to do so. Come on, not even a name? Fine, her name is Emma. Thanks, man. Watch as I win this girl over. I'm gonna regret helping him out, aren't I? Oh my god, he skipped everyone in the line. Upon watching Edward shove everyone aside, you unfortunately realized that you were correct in regretting this. Behold, an entitled brat attempts to date your friend. You know that she deserves much, much better than him. Better than you, even. Not that you're even interested in the first place. And you want to know why this is happening to her now. It's all because you, Mr. Prodigy Detective, decide to tell this guy her name. Bravo! You just disclosed the most valuable piece of identification to a scumbag that totally won't harass her. And you want to know why you're not getting your sorry self up to stop this. You're too engrossed by these stupid thoughts to even realize that you could just go up there and stop this scene. Of how shit you are with people, I wouldn't be surprised if... Hey, pretty. Well, you blew your chance at stopping this from even being initiated. Hey, you can't just cut the line. Who do you think you are? The damn Queen of Scots? Shh, whatever, I'm basically the freaking prince of this city. Lines don't apply to me. Yeah, they do apply to you. If you want to order, then you gotta go to the back of the line like everyone else. But all I wanted to do was chat with a pretty girl like you. Look, if you want to chat with me, do it some other time, alright? You do this all the time, and it's very uncomfortable for everyone here. Come on, please. No. Sorry. No. Mortified by the fact that he just got scolded by a peasant like Emma, Edward leaves Moonbills with his tail between his legs. At the same time, Emma continues making drinks like nothing had happened. Thankfully, that didn't escalate due to the fact that Edward is a pathetic idiot. However, being the paranoid detective that you are, you ponder what could have happened had Edward been even just a bit more unhinged. And you also realize that Emma's usual smile is just slightly downturned. It's pretty much my fault that she got humiliated. I should have stopped him. I know that classes start soon, but I think that I should check up on Emma right now. You get online and wait, yet again, to order you don't know what you want to order. But that doesn't really matter much right now. Oh, Oliver, you're back. You like the drink, right? Yes, I liked it very much. It was much better than what I originally wanted. I'm just here to order a croissant. Alrighty, one croissant coming right up. You glance around to make sure that no one is here. You speak softly, much softer than usual. Emma, could I speak to you? You saw how it went for the last guy who tried to speak with me. I just want to check up on you. What is there to check up on me about? You know, that guy treating you like that. I just want to make sure that you were okay before leaving. Ha, of course I am. There's customers like that all the time here. It's nothing I can't handle. Well, you shouldn't have to put up with that. I might not have much of a right to speak on the matter, but I would think that it feels demeaning. Her happy mask slid off, just like that. You start feeling an all too familiar feeling of guilt, even if you haven't broken the law. Obviously, it's pretty shitty that Emma's dealing with harassment, but it's even shittier that you just made today worse for her. You mentioned that he's been doing this every day, right? Maybe I could have a little chat with him? I could perhaps knock some sense into him? No, really, it's fine, but thanks for tonight. Besides, I know that your definition of a friendly chat with him would involve that little thing of pepper spray you got there. What pepper spray? You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, you got me. Don't worry about me. I can handle myself just fine. Okay, Emma. If you say so, but if you ever need anything, I'll be there for you. You and Emma exchange glances as she hands you the croissant, and you forgot your orders. You give her a $10 bill and request that she keeps the change. Again. And just like that, you walk out of the Moonbills. As you walk out, you're pretty sure that through the corner of your eye, you see Emma blushing a bit. You just chalk that up to the lighting, though. Nah, she has a crush on you, bro. She has a crush. Alright, I better head to classes now. I wouldn't want to be too late. Damn, man. Want to escape this prison of a body and get ran over? Oh, heck no. Didn't think so. Even though death is constantly crossing your mind, you don't wish to die. One thing. So many people's lives get cut short against their will. To you, it would be an insult if those people to off yourself. Second, you do like the thrill and adrenaline that comes from detective work. And finally, your poor mother wouldn't know what to do with herself without you. Even though you'd be dead, you'd rather not have your death so negatively affect her like how father's did. I left so early, not just for the coffee, but to get away from Mom. This cat seems to be blocking the path into this alleyway. To be honest, though, you have no reason to go into the alley right now. Unless you want to get robbed at 6 in the morning. Okay, 42. This is where your office is. It's pretty convenient that it's near both the train stop and your university. You don't need to go here right now. You continue walking through the streets and finally arrive at Libretto University. Most of your day consists of sitting around, listening to lectures, and writing so much that your hand burns with pain. You view it as a bit of a waste of time, not because you hate your classes or anything like that, but more so because you'd rather be cracking cases. After a long, long day of boring stuff that I'm not even going to get into, you go to the university's library. Let's see, I need to finish up all my schoolwork as soon as possible. That way I can get to working on cases. And as soon as I do that, I'll just stop, like I promised Mother. You get straight to writing, dredge gluing your pen to the page. You know that once you get this essay done, you'll have to get through a few more write-ups, analysis, poems, all that good stuff. And you also know that if you don't finish it fast enough, Mother's going to grow more and more anxious because of you. Your writing becomes much sharper as you rapidly scribble down words on the page. But just as you're getting into the flow of it... Hey! Ah, shit. What the hell was that? Shit, you pulled at Moonbills. I don't exactly follow. Why didn't you tell me that Emma is one of those girls? And what do you even mean by that? Why'd she make me go to the back of the line, huh? You really don't feel like putting up with Edward Cox's bullshit. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because you were cutting. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tolerate your complaints about Emma, okay? Your usual soft voice morphs into an icy hiss. You don't like hearing yourself like this, but it's what must be done. I mean, not even you take your normal voice all that seriously, preferring to mask it with ice when speaking to hardened criminals. And idiotic classmates, it seems. If I knew that you were going to humiliate yourself and Emma like that, I wouldn't even have told you her name. I wasn't making a fool of myself. She should have been flattered that I was willing to do something embarrassing for her sake. You didn't cut in line for her sake. She doesn't even know you. She doesn't know that she's going to love me? You decide to turn to your last resort to shut this guy up. You know, the more you speak like this, the less inclined I am to believe your argument. It reminds me of this one assault case. The perpetrator spoke of the victim in that exact manner. Ah, hell no! You are not going to go off on a criminal tangent with me. If it'll get you to stop pestering women, then I'll gladly do it. Besides, I like talking about these cases. They teach you a thing or two about people. So don't think that I'm just doing this for your sake. Edward stares at you apathetically, clearly not moved by your words. He begins to drag himself away from you, shoulders slumped from boredom. Whatever, I'm just gonna go to class now. There's no difference between hearing you lecture and hearing the professor lecture. You must have done something right to make this slacker go to class instead of cut it. You think nothing of it. You're just glad that the argument didn't escalate. You attempt to return to writing, but the air of resentment from the argument hangs over the area, promptly leading you to getting the heck out of there. Even though this air is parching my throat, it still feels quite pleasant. Says you, the man who usually keeps himself cooped up either in your university office or bedroom. Any sort of natural air is gonna feel refreshing, even if it's natural air tainted by industrial smoke. I have a good amount of time before Mother is expecting me home, so I maybe can get my work done at Cardinal Park. I do think that I should check up on Anima before I do that, though. You don't need to go here right now to your office. This cat seems to be blocking your path into this alleyway. You've no clue why a cat would want to be out here while it's snowing. From your knowledge, they prefer laying down in boxes, all compressed and cozy. Alright. Oh, is Emma even here? The clock's ticking, reminding you you can't be here forever. I can't talk to people. Upon entering the now empty line, you see that Emma is nowhere to be found. Didn't she mention working a double shift today? Hello, what can I get for you today? May I have, Usually, you'd rehearse your order in your head before you turn to place it. Unfortunately, you didn't do that this time. Thankfully, you aren't putting the line to a halt because there is no line. You quickly glance up at the menu and say the first thing you see. You manage to stutter out, "May I have a mini pumpkin cinnamon latte?" Wait a damn minute, I hate those! And would you like that with almond milk? Without thinking, you say, "Yes, please." This drink is gonna be shit now, isn't it? Now, if you weren't thinking of how inconvenient it would be for the barista, you would have changed your order. Unfortunately, you're crap at talking to strangers, if that wasn't obvious. And would you like it iced? Yes, please. Yes to everything. Alright, one weird-ass latte coming up. What the freak, Oliver? Just say you want to change the damn thing. You know what? That doesn't matter. I'm already in too deep. Besides, I'm not really here for the drink. Excuse me, I have a question about one of your employees, Emma Greenwood. What, she in trouble for something? What? No, I just... What? No, I'm a friend of hers. Do you happen to know where she is? As you feel heat crawling up your skin, the barista retorts with, shouldn't you know where your friend is? Well, she, works here. She's meant to be on this shift. You're that detective kid from the news. Shouldn't you know where she is? They giggle a bit as you feel burning envelop your body from head to toe. I don't know everything. I'm just the detective. It's fine, man. We don't publicize our schedules. She should be on a lunch break right now, but I just clocked in, so don't chastise me if I'm wrong. Oh, thank you. The barista hands you your shitty drink. Bear in mind that it's your fault that it's shitty, and you hand them your money. You got a weird-ass latte. You walk out of Moonbill's dissatisfied with their information, and holding a shitty latte. I guess I'll drink it. I just paid for it, I guess. I guess I could talk to Emma in an hour. Her lunch break should be over by then. For now, I guess I'll go over to Cardinal Park. I really do need the fresh air. Imagine it's this way, yes? Yes. I'm smart. Cardinal Park. The focal point of Libretto City is crowning jewel. It's called Cardinal Park for the red maple trees that dot every foot of the park. Even in this cold weather, the trees have retained their blood-red leaves, contrasting perfectly with the dull fog that permeates throughout the city. Between school, work, and mother, you don't find yourself here very often. Not to mention that it's far too cold out for you to even want to spend another minute outside. Thankfully, today is a break from the painfully monotonous schedule you usually follow. Gone is waking up, attending university, working, and listening to mother's worries. Today, it's wake up, attend university, go to Cardinal Park, go to work, and listen to mother's worries. Wait, that's not right. You're not supposed to work today. Guess it's just the force of habit to think that way, though. Even if mother wouldn't be too pleased with you putting work over family time. As your gaze makes contact with the frozen river, you can see people on the ice doing all sorts of stuff in spite of the warning sign. Including, but not limited to, jumping up and down, shoving a knife into the ice, playing basketball, and doing all sorts of stupid things. It isn't like telling these people to stop will make them stop. Hell, someone even vandalized that sign over there. Don't go on the ice. Right now, I'm going to try to not worry too much about it. I'll just get my work done and go straight home. You take a sip from the weird-ass pumpkin cinnamon latte thing you ordered, a complete freak-up of a drink. And you proceed to wonder why you're so damn socially inept as the frigid liquid moves down your throat. Setting the drink aside, you pull out your papers and begin writing. You're really getting into the flow of it. Surely nothing's going to interrupt your flow. Gah! A high-pitched screech reaches you, jolting you up. You stare at the source of the noise. Oh goodness, of course something like this was going to happen. You rush over to stop the preventable death, keeping in mind that you could have told her to get off the ice. Thankfully, before she succumbs to hypothermia, you manage to pull her out. Her shivering body runs into yours, leaving you in quite the awkward position. Oh my god, girl. Why do you look like me? With yellow eyes, too. Like, thanks for getting me out. It was so gross under there. Get off the freaking ice, idiot. It's nothing, but I need to take you to a hospital or something. You're freezing right now. Nothings. It's alright. But, like, I touched a body down there. It was so gross. No, really. Let me take you to... Wait. Body? Her upbeat nature betrays the message her words bring. A body under the ice? No, surely it's just her hypothermia speaking, right? People don't think very straight when cold. This woman usually seems a bit weird. Why would you believe her, right? Besides, she could have mistaken something else for a corpse, right? And how do you know that you made contact with a body? Like, it felt like a person. I could feel their hands, their face, their legs, and their hair. You walk over to the hole and attempt to examine it, all the while keeping a safe distance away. In the meantime... My god, Illy, are you okay? What the hell were you ice skating? Why the hell were you ice skating? Like, Mel, I'm okay. And about the second question, you're like supposed to skate on frozen rivers. That's why they freeze over. Not this one. The sign literally says don't go on the ice. Like what sign? What do you mean, like what sign? I'm talking about the sign literally behind you and that lanky dude. You resist the urge to defend your lanky figure and instead continue looking into the blue abyss. Like, that doesn't matter. I like helped. Helped death take over sooner rather than later? Like, no. You figure that the two girls are sisters, judging by their similar appearance and how they're arguing. In addition... Oh, go back, please. In addition, what? The very worst that could happen to me is that I freeze. If I don't act fast, a murderer very well could get away with their crime. Do you dive into the icy abyss? Me? Heck yeah, let's do it. You begin to slip your trench coat off. I know how scandalous a 20-year-old man simply taking off an outer garment. And the two women immediately stop arguing. They perk up, and you can feel their eyes scanning your body. Clearly, this is quite the sordid sight for them. Even the more reasonable of the two is left speechless by your not nude upper body. You're not even shirtless, and yet they're taking interest. Alright, Millie, did you somehow bribe this guy to strip for you? Like, no, I think he's just so charmed by me. Sometimes you don't quite understand this attraction others have for you. A couple of years ago, you taking something off would be viewed as scandalous, but not really in the appealing way. Then again, you never really did realize that puberty hit you like a truck. You half expect Millie and maybe even Mel to begin prodding you to take your sweater off. What am I reading right now? Before you can hear any remarks to that kind, you dive under the water. What the hell is this pretty boy doing? Why can't anyone just follow the damn sign? But you're on the ice right now, you hypocrite. Yeah, to come and save you, you dummy. But Mel, I saw a body. What? Millie, did you down all the meds during lab? Like, of course not. I only downed one. Then what body are you talking about? You emerged from the water, gasping for air and coughing water out. Not the most flattering sight. It was so dark under there that you really couldn't see the corpse and you had to feel around for it. So you didn't get quite a good look at them. After coughing some more, though, you open your eyes. Is it Emma? Is it Emma? You've seen a lot of gore while on the job. Eyes gouged out of their sockets, partially popped like water balloons, beating hearts ripped out of chests, exposed intestines, bones contorted in ways they couldn't be, disgustingly pink brains staining rotting carpet. But somehow this... Oh, I don't think it's Emma, at least. Her breasts had been ripped off, exposing all the tissue to the air. You hate that you're comparing the tissue's appearance to a fricked-up flower. Half of her face had been burnt off, the skin melting near where her remaining eye is. You can only imagine the pain of having an intense fire burning so close to your eye. Her remaining eye reveals a glassy, blank stare, void of vivid color. It tells you everything. You were too late. You were too late to save her. This is the end of the chapter. Would you like to save her? Heck yeah. Okay. Nice. Chapter 2. Vasira. After calling the police, the corpse is taken to the lab in your office. Meanwhile, drivers had managed to find other items of interest that could be connected to this case. You don't know why, but this corpse looks oddly familiar to you. And the fact has been driving you insane. It's not Emma, is it? You just want Aunt Abbott to give you some evidence of who this is. Mr. Cypress, could you come over here for a sec? Have you ID'd the body yet? Is there any way that we can find out who she is? You attend Libretto University, right? This can't be good. Yes, I do attend Libretto University. Abbott hands you the purse found at the scene. You don't like the fact that someone so young was murdered. You sift for the purse with your gloved hands, handling it gently. You come across a wallet, exactly $123 inside of it. No robber would pass up that much money. Inside of the wallet, you come across a photograph, presumably of the girl's parents. Both of her parents have faces that you can only describe as sweet. They don't look like the kind of people who would be targets for murder. They're gonna be in pieces when they find out. You think to yourself as you imagine how the scene will play out. Before your imagination gets too carried away, something catches your eye. The logo for Libretto University. Her Libretto University ID. You pull the card out and... I knew it. I knew it and I wished it wasn't. How? How did this happen? So quickly. Between me buying that freaking drink and me going to... She was... Her... What? Emma Greenwood. Your throat is beginning to close in. You don't even feel as if you're actually experiencing this. You feel like you're watching some horrible twisted movie play out. Emma is the girl you were just speaking to a couple of hours ago. You told her that you'd be there for her. And look at her now. It's no wonder that the corpse appeared so familiar to you. You don't even realize that you're shaking as you hold her ID. Hey, you okay? You nod your head in silence. The good thing about that is the fact that you'll have an easier time solving this one. What makes you assume that this will be easier? The fact that we attend the same university? Yeah, you'll have an easier time getting information about her. You restrain yourself from sobbing on the spot. You can't let her see that. Fine. You do have a point. I should be able to gather more information about the victim. Anyways, back to the report. She exclaims jovially, acting as though she hadn't just performed a bunch of tests on the murdered college student. Honestly, I've got no clue what exactly killed her. That's concerning. You see, there's a lot of things that could have killed her. It's almost comical just how thorough the killer was. This girl was beaten, stabbed 43 times, burned in several places, fed bleach, and obviously thrown into Cardinal River. In addition, the perpetrator tried to saw her body apart. You feel like you're going to vomit just thinking about the order in which this torture was played out. I can't tell if the killer decided to beat a dead horse or not. Have you found any sort of DNA on the corpse? Some of the fingernails were torn off. Maybe they tried to scratch the perpetrator. We're gonna do that in an hour or so. We gotta get the tech ready. The new cutting edge stuff. Right. Look, kid, you got a lot paler than usual. You ought to get some rest in the office. You want to retort with something snarky, especially since she called you kid. Still, you can't deny that she means well. Her, the corpse, lies under this blanket. For some reason, you hate the idea of a corpse being laid to rest in a cold, sterile place like this lab. Abbott's attempt at making this lab a bit more homey. You get why she'd do that, but you don't really think that the plastic leaves cut it. A bunch of forensic tools, DNA samples. Best not to touch them. A bunch of case files that you're gonna go over to solve this case. A bunch of law books. Desks with paper and coffee on them. You remember that another coworker sat here. Marissa Fontaine was her name, you think. She wasn't a detective, rather she was working in technology. A few months ago she went on summer vacation, and she hasn't been back. What's wrong with you? What exactly do you mean? You look like you've seen a ghost. I mean, I did just see the corpse of someone I knew. How'd they die? And don't give me any of that stabbing bullshit. That's just normal for murderers. You don't exactly see how there could be anything normal about a literal murder. Atop the shelf sits an empty box for some reason. Your coworkers have said that the box adds character to the room. They're messing with you. Desks with paper and coffee on them. You've always found this man to be a bit peculiar, to say the least. He straight up introduced himself as Clock. You believe that it's just an alias, and that he's actually some undercover agent or something. In addition, many of his behaviors are rather catty, to put it lightly. For instance, right now he's watching the clock ticking, almost like a cat. Weirdly enough, he seems absolutely enveloped by the clock's ticking. You decide to snap him out of this hypnosis. Excuse me? Jeez. Oh, it's just you. You didn't notice me come in? I was just busy talking to my grandfather. Your grandfather? You decide to stop asking questions. Clearly this man is a secret agent. A grandfather clock. It doesn't seem to be displaying the right time. You sit down at your seat, attempting to process the fact that Emma's dead. Yeah, that's going just about as well as you could expect. If I wasn't such an idiot, she'd be alive, right? Maybe if I didn't waste my time arguing with that stupid Cox, I could have gone to the scene sooner, right? You continue bargaining in your mind over and over again, wondering if Emma would be alive if you had done anything differently. Anything differently. This case is different from many of the ones you've covered in the past. In those cases, you could only intervene when it was possible to actually save anyone. You'd still assign yourself the blame for not saving the poor victims, but at least you also knew that it made no sense to blame yourself. So eventually, you'd be able to push that guilt to the back of your mind. This case, on the other hand, hits a little too close for home for comfort. You bury your face in your arms. You know that everyone else will realize that you're crying like a little wuss you are. But at least you have the dignity to try and hide your ugly, sobbing face. No one else should have to be affected by your stupid emotions. Hey, what's the matter? Without a thought, you respond in a blubbering tone. This girl is dead because of me. Maybe if I wasn't such a freaking jackass, I've realized that leaving her alone was a recipe for disaster. So a girl died before you could kiss her? What? Huh? You quickly wipe your tears with your sleeve of your sweater and get up to be greeted with, "Are you freaking with me? What the hell are you doing here?" This is exactly what you needed. You need the sleazy dude to come into the office and listen to you have a breakdown over the death of the girl that he harassed. Great, just absolutely positively supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Now, you're not usually one for throwing punches and kicks. Right now, you really want to make an exception to your anti-violence moral code. But no, you have to play nice. "Aw, you miss me." You then hiss under your breath. "What do I look like to you? Your dog?" "Jeez, relax, man." "Don't tell me relax, man, alright? Aren't you used to corpses or something? Not the corpses of people I know. Or corpses of girls you love. Quit projecting your romantic feelings for her onto me. You know damn well that you're losing your cool, and he is having a blast watching your descent. Fine, just trying to help. You're doing everything but helping just by being here." "I am helping. I just got called to help ID the girl. I already ID'd her. Haven't you heard of having multiple people corroborate a story?" "Yeah, I thought so, Mr. Famous Detective. For some very not obvious reason, you hate the idea of this sleazy, annoying Edward Cox being in the same room as Emma's, the victim's corpse. Well, Abbott's in the room with him. He wouldn't try anything with her in there, right? Besides, I know that he's immature, but he'll at least take a murder seriously, right?" Screw me for believing in Cox! You barge into the lab, hoping to prevent a tragedy. "Abbott, what happened? Did he hurt you? Are you—" "What the hell?" "Well, at least you now know what your initial hunch was, right?" "Hey man, this isn't what it looks like. You see, Emma promised me a kiss and—" "With the way that you were rubbing your hands up and down her body, I don't think that you just gave her a kiss, you degenerate." "Degenerate? Me?" You whip out a pair of handcuffs, ignoring Edward's resistance. "Oh, Oliver, I didn't know that you were into me." "Do you think that this is a joke? You, Edward freaking Cox, are under arrest, and before you ask for what, it's for tampering with evidence, and if I could, I'd add on necrophilia. You have the right to remain silent. Frankly, it would be benefit for both of us. You arrest Edward's shameless ass and put him in police custody. Your victory against Edward Cox rings hollow as you realize that any DNA found on Emma now is going to be useless. But before that man came in here, did you manage to get any DNA matches? The kid went for her right before we were about to get the DNA. But it's not like it would matter. Any DNA must have been swept away while it was under the ice, right? I was hoping there'd be a chance of DNA working, at least. It's fine, but a good detective uses DNA as a crutch, correct? It's fine. What good detective uses DNA as a crutch, right? Well, actually, there's a lot of cold cases that have been solved with the help of DNA, so... not helping Abbott. Not at all. You know what? I think I'll stop now. Don't worry about it. You're not to blame for this predicament. Technically, I'm to blame. I didn't think anything of it when he went into the lab. To be fair to yourself, though, we did call him to ID the victim. The victim and him both go to Libretto University. Yeah. I have reasons to believe that Cox might be a suspect in this case. Well, just like all the other cases, narrow down the suspect list, alright? Try to find every possible suspect. And if you can't find any reasonable suspects, just find the maniac who did it. Well, first off, do we have any clue where the victim was dumped from? That's a good starting point. Although we don't have many detectives right now to survey the area, most of the other detectives have already clocked out for the holidays, and I don't think that they'd care very much about this case. So I guess that we're gonna be the main people working on this. In that case, I better get going right now. Wouldn't want to stay out in Cardinal Park for too long. Whoa, 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 slow down. Isn't it way past your bedtime, kid? I don't have a bedtime or anything of the sort. I'm an adult, for crying out loud. Are you sure that's a good idea to go out now of all times? You know the most likely time for serial killers to be out and about? Well, I mean, this woman got killed in the middle of the day somehow and dumped before the park froze over. When does the snow start? Early in the morning. So, like, when did the freezing start? Like, wait, we're gonna have to figure this out. If I do come across a serial killer, then I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll be able to arrest the serial killer, and I'll find where Emma's body was dumped from. Okay, but you're ignoring the fact that the serial killer could, I don't know, kill you! It's fine. The sooner I find the dumping grounds, the better. It's supposed to snow tonight, right? So the dumping area would end up buried tomorrow. Oh, okay. So if you're gonna put yourself in danger to make it slightly easier to find the dump area, got it. I'll be fine. Bye, Oliver. I'll get a forensics kit ready for your corpse. I feel like this is the desk you usually find yourself sitting at when working on cases. You find yourself spending so much time here that you decide to make it a teensy bit cozier by putting a photo of your father up. Many of your coworkers like to point out how similar you look to him. Mother also does the same thing. The only difference between you and father are your eyes, and potentially how messy your hair is compared to his. Can I get a cup of coffee? Moonbill's is closed right now. Unless you want to rob the place, there's no reason to go in here. Never. You began walking through the forest, hoping that nothing else freaks up this investigation. You really should be scared shitless right now, but you aren't. There's something eerily calm about being outside late at night with no one present. At least, you're pretty sure that you're the only one out here. After some more boring walking, you come across a fork on the path. I've heard that there's a point where every wrong turn will just take you back to a place you started off. Problem is that I bet that some people had gone so lost that they forgot where they even started off from. You're beginning to slightly regret disobeying Abbott. But you also know that I can't just give up on this case or this investigation. I'll stay here till dawn if necessary. There has to be some way to get through the forest without driving myself insane. Oh, look, a sign with its arrows torn off. This signpost had one job. Though I can't exactly blame it if someone else torn the arrows off. You're barely able to make out what the plaque says in the darkness. It reads, if you seek the proper path, tilt your head up. Up, I guess? You continue treading through the forest. But you end up right back where you started. I don't think that was the right path. Well, I'm gonna go this way then. Right. I tread through the forest, and then right where you started again. Okay, I'm gonna go left. Maybe it meant tilt your head up, as in it's the top one. So if I'm following the red path, you continue treading through the forest. Nope, only to end up right back where you started again. You came out here to investigate, not go on a nature hike. I'm trying, man. It's not like I have any clues out here or something. What's even up here anyway? Nothing. Come on, go and put my big dumb face right here real quick. And we're gonna go left. And that's stuck to the tree stump. Got no clue who could be chopping trees here. But it's pretty convenient since now you'll be able to chop those logs up. Use what little strength you have to pull the axe out. Press enter when the pointer is on red. You finally managed to get the axe out, though your arms burn with the pain as you carry the axe. Got the axe. Okay, let's do this one. You begin chopping up the log. Okay, spam Q. After hacking away at the log, it finally breaks, clearing the way for you. Let's try this one. Dudes, I don't got anything to go on here. So it's left, lefty, 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 right. Let's try right then. You begin chopping up the log. I gotta go up. Why do I always pick the last one last? I mean the right one. Why do I always pick the right one last? Well, how did that wood catch on fire? I have no clue, bro. Although you're a pretty tall guy, you can't climb over this walk formation. If you got something to help, you'll be able to get past this. A cute snowman. For the snow to be packed like this is probably much wetter than the snow on the ground. I got an idea. I'm glad you do, because I don't. You decide that the best course of action was to rip the poor snowman's head off. Got a snowman's head. Am I going to throw it at the fire? Will that do anything? You begin to take the snowman's head off. I need two. You pull the snowman's head off. Oh, there's another one. Damn it, try again. No! Boom. How many of these things do I need? Although, yeah. Use the snowman's head to put out the fire. Oh, okay, cool. You pick up a wooden plank. Now I use the wooden plank to get out of here. You prop the wooden plank up against a rock. Use the wooden plank, and I am done. You climb onto the wooden plank and across the rock formation. We did it. Hooray. Hooray, we did it. We did it. Dun 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 dun. You continue treading into the forest. Oh my gosh. All of that. All of that for nothing. At least I know that's not the right way. I have to walk through the fire. That's the way we go. You continue walking through the forest, making sure to keep a fast pace. This seems to be the place you're looking for. The blood in the hole in the ground ice should make that pretty damn obvious. A chill climbs up your spine as you recognize that the clothing from the ground as Moonbill's uniform. Upon looking inside the uniform, you find a tag that confirms your suspicion that this is Emma's uniform. So this is it then. The area Emma was dumped from. You begin snapping photos of the scene and taking notes about it, making sure to be as thorough as possible. Just as you're getting into it, however, you notice a reflection in the camera's lens that isn't yours. On pure instinct, you turn around and put your right hand to your coat pocket, pepper spray in hand. You ready your shaking body to come face to face with a serial killer. However, Mother? Her short, innocuous stature contradicts this aura around her. She killed her! She killed her! I call it now! It was the mom! The mom stalked her son, saw her talking to the woman, and killed her. I know that. Her short, innocuous stature contradicts the aura around her. Clearly, she's not happy with you. Mother, what on earth are you doing here? I should be asking you that question. What are you doing with that barista uniform? You didn't come out here to date behind my back, did you? No, of course not. I'm working on a case right now. Gosh, not this dating stuff again. You get why she'd be so against you dating, after all. That would distract you from what really matters. But you don't get at why, whenever you so much as breathe behind her back, that's the first thing her mind jumps to. Ollie, do promises mean nothing to you? You said you'd come home, and then I'd have you all to myself, because I'm a weirdo. What happened to that promise? Why are you still out here? This case just landed on me today, and since there's almost no one at the office, I have to solve it. And what's the rush in solving this case? Did someone important die, or did you take personal interest? It's her. It's her. What is she doing here? It's her. This is horrible. Her words scathed your mind. She can't shake the feeling that she knows the latter option is true. The victim is no one of importance. So why are you out here at 2 in the morning? You've never stayed out this late, and in this weather. This is how I usually work, and I'm perfectly fine with it. Now why are you out here? It's dangerous to be out here alone at this hour. I'm here because of you. I'm here to take you back home. Mother, I'm an adult at that. An adult on the job. I have to stay and finish up my notes. You've got a camera for a reason, right? Just take some pictures and come home. It's not for my sake, then your sake. How do you respond? Resist? I'm fine. What do you mean? I'm fine right now. Aha, really now? Perhaps she doesn't have a point. Your pale skin, blue lips, and shaking body aren't exactly the best examples of being fine. She's the one who did it. I hate her right now. I just know it in my gut. Why can't he see? It's because it's his mother. That's why he can't understand that it's her. Shaking body, yeah. You look around, trying to make sure that there isn't anything else important. And then snap as many photos as you can, all while under mother's watchful gaze. All is silent as you walk with her back home. After your long night of investigating, you should probably get some rest. I don't want to get any rest. I feel like I'm gonna be killed or tied to my bed or something by this deranged woman who calls herself my mother. If you could, you'd sleep next to the fireplace. Unfortunately, you're such a chaotic sleeper that you'd probably set yourself on fire by accident. Gee, I wonder why. I feel like this is a telltale sign of there being a murderous psychopath in your house. Go to bed. I don't feel like spending time with you. Oh, finally! Finally, you don't want to spend time with me. This is why I want to move out, guy. Why can't we just... You have a job, right? Can we just move? Dude, you, me, we'll move out together. In spite of the fact that your diet consists mostly of... I want to investigate her room, obviously. Especially the closet. Mother's bed. You remember that when you had nightmares as a child, you run in here and sleep with Mother, hoping that she'd protect you somehow. But now that you're an adult, you come to realize that you must be the one to protect her. After all, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself if a robber came in the middle of the night and stains this very bed red with her blood. You know that you'd continue detective work. Heck, you'd stop at nothing to find who murdered her. But that's kind of sad. If you were to find her murderer, there'd be nothing left to look forward to, other than your career. Still though, I've always tried to ignore how depressing that would be, because it's a reality that you never want to consider. Oh, he loves her. He loves her still. But why is she at the scene of the crime? In the middle of the night, you have to question it. You can't be biased. You can't be biased to her. Come on. He is so biased, it's sad. You fall asleep very quickly within less than an hour at that. Usually have much more trouble falling and staying asleep. After such an exhausting day, you really need the rest. Where is he? Hi, Mom. What are you doing? Waiting. Can we bake cookies together? I think it's really fun. Fine. Can Dad join us? It's more fun when it's all of us. Ollie, you know the answer to that question. I was waiting for your father to come home. So he's working on detective stuff? Yes, that's why he's not here with you and me. Do you know the stuff he's working on? It's fun hearing about that. You only like hearing the glamorous stuff about saving people, but he never tells you about the stuff that really matters. Fine then. You want me to tell you about that case he's working on? Yes, please. Do you remember Mrs. Barrett? Yeah, that kind lady who comes over to read with me. She hasn't been here in a while. Mother's voice takes on a slightly agitated tone. And do you know why she hasn't been here? She's dead. She just had to go and get herself killed. You do? And do you want to know what she's doing right now? Dead people can still do things to those alive. Horrible, awful things. That bitch is taking father away from me. She tried to do it when she was alive, and she's doing it again. Oh no, she killed her too, I bet. She's why father isn't here home with us. Because she went and got herself beaten, stabbed, burnt, fed bleach, and thrown in Cardinal River. I bet that's why she got herself killed like that on purpose. The more of a spectacle she makes out of it, the more Asher will stay away from us. Just like you did to my friend. Why would someone kill someone like Mrs. Barrett? She was so nice to us. This world is a crappy place. But the one saving grace is karma. You might have thought that Mrs. Barrett was undeserving of murder, but I think that karma just caught up to her. Good morning, Oliver Cypress. The day that awaits you is another day of detective stuff. You get out of the bed and comb your fluffy hair with your... Yeah. Dude, I think we live with a murderous psychopath. I hate to break it to you. It's been a while since I've had that dream. Dreams aren't important right now. I need to figure out how I'm going to carry out this investigation. Maybe I should start by finding out where Emma lives. Her parents should be the first people to know about her. And then she's going to get mad because I'm working. Don't want to wake her up. Say bye to Mother before leaving. Hell yeah. You gently whisper in her ear. Bye, Mother. I'll be home soon. Oh, man. I know it was her. Bye, Mother. I know you killed my friend and Mrs. Barrett. Strange, the door is locked. Goodness, Mother has locked the door again. On weekends, Mother has this nasty habit of locking the front door with a padlock. It's an attempt to prevent you from working on cases. Given how urgent this case is, you should try to find the front door key. This woman, and because Mother has a tendency, yeah, more outside coats, you usually only find yourself cycling between a few coats every year. Some of them originally belonged to your father, but they've lasted so long that you wear them now. A simple stove and oven unit. Whenever you look at this, you're reminded of two things. One, the fun times you used to have with Mother helping her bake cookies. And two, the less glamorous of the options, the times when you found a severed head in the oven while on the job. A baked severed head at that. At the very least, the cannibals cooking the head before eating it, but it still was disturbing as hell. So, all this woman does is complain, abuse you, and bake cookies. She doesn't sound like a catch at all. Like, it feels like my whole entire diet has been cookies. You can barely make out the silhouette of the front door key in the freaking fire. Unless you want to burn your arm to a crisp, you need to put the fire out. This... You'll get some water from here. Coffee cup. You could probably put water in here or something. The sink hasn't been used to clean... You turn the sink on and fill the empty coffee cup with water. Use the coffee cup with water to put out the fire. Got the front door key. It's probably burning my hand. You unlock the door with the key. Use the front door key. Where do you wish to go? The graveyard? There's this little thing called look from afar, don't touch. Why am I here? Okay, I'm leaving. Cobalt Street. Moonbo's is closed right now. What's up, man? He looks to be sleeping. I'd rather not disturb him. What's wrong with you? What exactly do you mean? Who are you, bro? Hey, kid, what do you need? Do you have any information on the victim's address? I'm going to inform her parents of her death. Alright, let me just get the papers out. Here you go. Abbott hands you a sheet of paper with Emma's address printed on it. You got Emma's address. Thank you, Abbott. I should probably head back home now. I need to change into something more suitable for breaking the news. Wait until they find out it's my mother who did it. Yeah, I would have moved out. Like, bro, come on. You change into something a little bit more suitable for breaking the news of the death. Alright, this outfit should be fine. I mean, honestly, might make her go insane if you move out, but, like, that's her problem, not yours anymore, dude. The Greenwood home. Nope, you gotta get flowers. Flowers? Oh, I'll go to the graveyard to steal flowers? That's your plan? Steal flowers from this? The tomb ribs. Okay, I guess not. Fancy. Unfortunately, someone decided to vandalize the plaque, so you can't even make out what it says. You see the last name, however. The surname being Greenwood. A tombstone with a plaque. Fancy. Very fancy. I didn't get to read that last time. Where am I getting flowers from? Right here? A vase with small flowers stuck in it. This isn't the one that was originally here, though. Mother broke the old one after trying to discipline you for staying out too late. You remember her saying something along the lines of, "Great, look at what you did. Now I have to buy a new vase." You still feel a bit guilty about this one. It's nowhere near as pretty as the original. You feel guilty? Oh. A vase with a small flower stuck in it. This isn't the one that was originally here, though. Mother broke the old one after a fight with Father because he stayed out too late. While you were listening to the argument from your room, you heard something along the lines of, Look at what you made me do, Asher. Now I have to buy another vase, all because you want to frick that bitch. You're sure that father wasn't a womanizer of any kind, but mother always makes it out to be the case. A pot of flowers sits on the table. For some reason you find the appearance of flowers blooming in winter very pretty. Wish you could be like that. I don't see any flowers in here. I don't want to be anywhere around her. Oh yeah, he's a detective. Maybe I could... Oh, I could pick up the flowers from here? Oh yeah, here we go. Got the flowers. Yeah, okay. I was like... No, there's no way this guy will ever rob the grave of someone. Even though they died because of roses. His moral compass won't allow it. You walk over to the address that Abbott gave you. For better or for worse, the Greenwoods don't live too far from your home. Still, though, you have to walk quite a good distance through the cold, empty streets. You take your sweet time walking there, a foreboding feeling forcing your head down. You know that this is almost always the worst part of carrying out an investigation. Given how you already felt uneasy about Emma's death, you figured that it would be best to get this out of the way. Finally, you reached the Greenwood home. Hello, is anyone home? Huh? Seems as though there's no one home. That comes out of your mouth much more blissfully than you want it. Usually, you'd be slightly on edge if the victim's family wasn't present. I guess that just like everything else about this case, it's different from what you're used to. Yes? Looks like as though you aren't getting away from informing the parents. Hello, are you Miss Greenwood? Yes, and you are? Oliver Cypress. I'm here because I have to tell you something about your daughter. The woman before you stands speechless. Oh my gosh! You're that sweet boy my baby has been telling me about. What? Oh, hell no. Poor woman has her hopes so high that you're gonna absolutely destroy them for like the scumbag you are. You found my daughter, right? She told me what a great detective you are. Technically you did find her daughter. However, you don't know if she'd be too happy about hearing that you found her dead instead of alive. Oh, please do come in. I'll get you some coffee. Thank you for the offer, but coffee is not really necessary. Miss Greenwood escorts you inside the little home. Please do make yourself at home. Thank you. Well, don't just stand there. Tell her that her kid is dead and then expect her to tell you everything about Emma. I can't investigate. It would be rude to snoop around. Atop the fireplace sits two photos, one of Emma and one of a man. He looks like the man from the photo you found in Emma's wallet. Her father. So, Mrs. Greenwood, this is quite the nice house. Ah, thank you, though it has been a while since I've tidied up the place. Although it could be perceived as rude to ask why you need as much information as you can get. Oh, why's that? Well, ever since my husband's funeral, I've just been languishing around. My condolences. Don't be sorry, I'm already over it. But you're not going to be over this. Judging by her dark clothing and runny mascara, you figure that this funeral happened quite recently. You highly doubt that she's over it, in spite of her upbeat mood. How am I going to tell her she's already dealing with another person's death? You just gotta... I'm sorry, you just gotta tell her. Now you said that you were here because of Emma, right? Yes, I'm here to speak to you about her. Are you gonna marry her? Marry her? Yes, that's why you're here without Emma. You're going to ask for my blessing, right? That escalated rather quickly. No, I'm here because there's something... I gotta be blunt. I I gotta be blunt. Emma's dead, Mrs. Greenwood. You know, I like you. I like dark jokes like that. Emma's not dead. She's alive and well. Emma is alive. Emma is alive. Emma is alive. Now, while I love dark jokes, please don't tell me that one again. Miss Greenwood, why would I joke about something like this? To get my blessing for marriage. I have always wanted my little Emma to marry a handsome young man like you. Besides, we both like that kind of humor. Emma must have told you so. She is dead. She died just yesterday. And I'm the one investigating her death. That's why I came here, because you need to know about her. You hold back, breaking down into an I'm sorry fit. I told you not to tell that joke again. You're here to marry her. Why else would you have flowers? They're for you. Taking this news is a horrible experience. Emma isn't dead. Now stop joking about this. Please forgive me for this. You pull out a photo of Emma's corpse. Undeniable proof that Emma's dead. With the corpse, we found this. And Emma's been gone since yesterday, right? She hasn't returned home. No. This is an elaborate lie, right? It's all one of those lies detectives tell, right? You lie all the time, right? We are lying, right? You're lying, right? You're lying, right? Right? Your quivering lips tell her everything. Miss Greenwood froze herself at you, hitting you with a shaky arm. First my husband, now my baby? I didn't get to say goodbye to her! She left yesterday and I was sleeping! I didn't even get to see her face before she... Miss Greenwood cries, attacks your mind as she tries to hit you with her limp arms. You know that she can't join her. You can't join her in crying. If you begin to break down too, it wouldn't be very reassuring to her. She's dead because of you! You didn't protect her! And now you're here offering condolences that I am supposed to take and be fine with? Why can't you people prevent this kind of stuff? Why do you bend over backwards for some, but do jack shit for, like my husband, like my baby? You don't get it. I have nothing now. They were everything, and now they're gone. Why did it have to be my baby girl? Why? As much as you hate comparing yourself to the victims in this case, in this crying woman, you see a young child. A young child who does everything to appease both a dead father and the mother who's dealing with it. You don't like admitting it, but you're not fully over it, even after a decade. It's why you're here, sitting at this room, breaking the news of Emma's death to her poor mother. After the better chunk of an hour, Mrs. Greenwood composes herself somehow. Over the course of that hour, all that you could do was stoically watch as she buried her face in your arms. Mrs. Greenwood stutters with despair in her voice. Oliver, why would someone kill her? That's why I'm trying to piece together. You knew her so much better than I did, so I figured that you might be able to tell me. I get why you might be reluctant to speak on the matter, and I understand why you wouldn't be interested in helping me. When people die, our minds tend to erase all of the negativity surrounding them. No matter how significant their misdeeds, it's what humans do. Especially those close to death, close to the dead. You can only imagine the emotions that would run through Mrs. Greenwood if you attempted to get over her to speak ill of Emma. Oliver, there's no one who want to kill her, let alone hurt her that horribly. Her body was mangled so terribly that I didn't even see her as Emma. That's why I believe that this was a personal attack. How much money did Emma usually carry around? The last time that Emma told me how much she had, she said she had $128. Why do you ask? Her body was found with $123, with $5 being spent at her barista job. So the perpetrator wasn't concerned with robbing Emma. In every robbery case I've seen, the victim was left penniless. This murder was personal. I'll bet, judging by how much was done to her. So, you're saying that the murderer is someone we know? They definitely could be, but there's always the chance that this was the work of a serial killer. I'm sorry, but I can't think of anyone close enough to us to do this. All of our family lives across the ocean, so we only see them every now and then. Maybe a neighbor or a classmate. I'm sorry. You and Miss Greenwood hang your heads low in dreadful silence. Poor woman has so much on her mind right now. Of course, it would be difficult for her to recall anything. If you weren't so insistent on solving this case as fast as possible, you wouldn't even be here. Wait. I remember something Emma mentioned it a few days ago. She said that she was walking home from university, but as she was passing by that big fashion store, in the window's reflection, she saw two tall men. That night she came home incredibly late because of how many detours she was taking. Thankfully, she was physically fine. That could be important. Did she tell you anything about their physical appearances? It could be anything from a tattoo to a scar of some kind. She said that one of the men smelled like body spray and that the other one was wearing a black hoodie with a brown jacket. I guess that doesn't narrow it down too much. Sorry. Don't be. That information actually does help. Many cases have been solved using small details like that. Even if the information describes around half of the city's population. I'm gonna need all the information I can get for this case. Well, that's good to know. And what would you say Emma's daily schedule was like? Well, her schedule yesterday was supposed to be work at Moonbill's, attend university, go on lunch break, work at Moonbill's, and then come back home. But she never made it to university. I got a call yesterday telling me that she wasn't present. Emma hated school, but she never skipped classes. Her record has been clean ever since she got there. And before you ask, I did call the police. I told them that I was scared for Emma's safety and that I want her home safe and sound. I followed a report and everything. I barely slept last night because no one even updated me on her case. I've been trying to stay hopeful ever since I filed that report, but I didn't even get any confirmation for if they worked on the case. You realize that had you been working instead of studying or lounging around, you could have gotten a hold of Emma's case before she died. Don't dwell on that now. Focus on getting information. Mrs. Greenwood, I understand if you don't trust me with this case, but I want you to know that I'll do everything to bring the perpetrator to justice. I hope you're not just lying to me. I can reassure you that I'm not. Well, in that case, thank you. I know that you'll be able to do this. You wonder how long it'll take to disappoint her. You have to solve this case. It's not for your sake, but for Mrs. Greenwood's sake. You're not going to let Emma's death take over her life. Maybe, just maybe, if you let her death take over your life for a week or so, you can stop it from harming this woman so much. A little bit of pain to you will save her a lifetime of grieving, right? Well, I mean, she was your friend, too. This is the end of the chapter. Would you like to save here? Yes. Alright, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one. Alright, let me add it. I'm ready. Let me add it. I'm ready. Chapter 3. Confinement. Oh no, my mom. After bidding farewell to Mrs. Greenwood with a French cheek kiss from her, you return home to get started on the heavy lifting for the case. Abbott already provided you with a bunch of documents and photos to supplement your own information. You spend the entire day trying to figure stuff out, from the exact chainsaw that was used, attempted to, saw Emma's arms, to the type of body bag she must have been put in. In fact, you spend so much time on this stuff that you don't even realize that it's the next day. What do you want? Get out of my life! You're so preoccupied with convoluted stuff, with convoluted case stuff, that you don't even notice your poor mother entering the room. Ollie, stop working on that! Mother, this is... No, I want you to explain to me why the hell the padlock isn't on the door. Mother, I have to work on this case. This is my line of work. I don't care about your line of work, if it means that you stop caring about me. Yeah. How is working on this case going to stop me from loving you? It already is. How are you unable to see that I do love you? Show me that you love me. Haven't you already shown her that you love so many times? When is it going to be enough for her? Drop this case and leave it for someone else to handle. I'm the only detective present and willing to work this case, Mother. If I don't do it, who will? Excuses. Why are you so damn obsessed with this case? What about this case makes you prefer spending time on it over keeping your promise with me? You don't understand, Mother. The victim was someone I knew. You know, one of your father's cases was exactly like this one. Mr. Barrett's. Yes, it was. Only makes it makes me expensive, blah, blah, blah. Remember how the perpetrator was never found? How your father spent so much time away from us for no reason? How much it hurt us? You're doing that with me right now, Oliver. You're obsessing over the dead so much that I might as well be a pebble to you, right? Would you love me more if I died, maybe. This isn't the first time you thought. Mother isn't going to do anything to herself, is she? One of these days, Oliver, one of us is going to get hurt. And I think that at the rate that you're going right now, you're going to hurt yourself more than either of us could ever imagine. Her words loop over and over and over in the back of your mind. Something about them is off to you. Mother has never been this insistent on keeping you away from a case. For now, at least, you disregard these thoughts, brushing them off as irrelevant. Instead, you focus your mind on getting to the bottom of this case. Based on what I know so far, Emma was murdered before reaching Libretto University. And based on what Mrs. Greenwood said, Emma was probably on her way to class when she... So maybe I should start by searching the alleyway. It's the most discreet place for a murder to occur. So maybe she hired the two men? Come to think of it, maybe if I provide this cat with a box, it will get out of the way. I know where to get a box. Give me this box. Atop the shelf, it's an empty box for some reason. It might be tall, but you're not tall enough to reach it. Okay. Can I use the chair? A crowbar. At some point, this was evidence for a case. Nowadays, your co-workers like to chase each other around with this, pointing the end with dried blood at each other. Take the crowbar? Yes. Got the crowbar. Use it to... Yes. Use the crowbar to push the box off the top of the shelf. Got an empty box. Here you go, cat. Get out of my way. You set the empty box down near the cat. You walk into the alleyway hoping for some answers. There might be something here. You rapidly turn around and your world goes dark. You slowly drift back into consciousness. Probably. You only think that because of the laughing you hear and the musty odor that overwhelms your nostrils. Screw this, the damn kidnappers could have put me somewhere else. Couldn't even put me somewhere nice. The two people laugh like hyenas, making you want to break out of your restraints and strangle them. Alas, you cannot do such a thing, and your ears are forced to listen to their stupid conversation. You know, you should have tied this guy up a bit more. Wouldn't want him to weasel his way out. I'm not wasting rope on a wimp. He'll probably not even gonna be able to get out of that little bit of rope. How do you know that he's a wimp? One, he's that detective kid. I don't think that he'd have much time for hitting the gym. Two, I brought him here for your kind information. And my god, he weighs as much as my damn cat. Hell, I saw him. I didn't think that it was the right person at first. The client said tall, dark, and handsome, right? Sure, the kid's tall and dark, but I'd say he's more pretty than handsome. I'm not freaking pretty. Why the hell does everyone think I'm pretty, boy, or whatever? So, what do we do with him? Do we beat him, stab him, burn him, feed him bleach, and throw him in the Cardinal River like we did with that last BITCH? That was what was done to Emma. Are these BITCH boys the murderers? Something really doesn't seem right with you. You never use that many curse words in a sentence unless you were cursing someone out. No, you dumbass. The client didn't want him dead. It's the mom. Mom was the client. Mom made her kill the other girl. Mom made her kill the other boy. Oh. That's why the mom didn't do it. Because she couldn't probably carry the body, but those two men that she was talking about earlier could. Why can't we just sell the kid? Just dress him up as a girl and we'll be rich. You know how much demand there is for skinny goth chicks? Hell no. You idiots are gonna take the skinny goth chick alive. Yep, something's really not right about you. Look, this client is paying us a shit ton of money to do this right. If you screw this up, they're gonna get the cops on us. Isn't that gonna implicate them? Like if the cops find the payment details. That's why you're keeping the pay details. What? You're gonna take the pretty little lighter of yours and burn it if the cops get on to us. Why? I get it. You've got the hots for this client. Can you blame me? You know I like strawberry blondes. And personally, I think that you'd also like it if we got her to join us. Ha, yeah, right. You want me to get rid of this just so that your high school crush isn't implicated? And it makes it look better for us. If they find the pay details, they're gonna realize that we're mercenaries, and they'll investigate even further. Oh. Little do they realize that you, a detective, aka law enforcement, are listening to the entire damn conversation. You know, sometimes I don't even know why I work with you. You're dumb as a stone. Haha, you know you love it. Come on, man. Let's go get to bed. It's not like this kid is gonna go anywhere. The men leave you alone in the room. You decide to wait a bit before planning out how you're gonna get out of this mess. Oh, you freak idiots. This is the loosest knot I've ever been tied up in. You frick around with the ropes and try to get out. You frick around a little more. And one more time. Your arms come out of the ropes easily once you wear them down. And now my arms don't burn like hell. Now let me take this damn face stuff off. Well, clearly something was done to you. Damn, it's freaking cold. Guess I'm not in the city anymore. This feels suburban. How you came to that conclusion is a mystery, but it is correct. I'm seeing freaking sounds. Gosh darn it, not this shit again. It's like that time I tried to bust the drug ring and they decided to give me a taste of their meds. Somehow, you're not so far gone, as to not be able to move or reason. So you'll probably be able to get out of here, hopefully. Any sane kidnapper wouldn't keep the door open. I need lockpicky stuff. You look through the toolbox and find a screwdriver and a flashlight. You use the screwdriver to unscrew the washing machine door. And inside the washing machine you find... Huh? Why the frick are there empty coffee cups in here? Got an empty coffee cup. What's this on the ground? Got a paperclip. Another paperclip? I can grab all these paperclips. There's so many of them. Okay. Obviously one is enough. Begin to pick the lock. If you fail to do so, the paperclip will break. You'll have to try again with another one. So here we go. Oh. The door unlocks before your very eyes. You're pretty sure that there's a head inside here, but that's the least of your concerns now. The note on the fridge says, put the freaking plates away, gosh darn it. You know, maybe you should put out this fire before the damn oven explodes. Or maybe I want to experience burning to a crisp. You pour some water into the empty cup. You got an empty cup with water. Use the water from the empty cup to put the fire out. You look inside the oven, and in it is a key. Got a little key. Now I'm going to bring the water with me, just in case. You pick up the plate. You got a plate. You pick up a plate. I got another plate. A table you could hide under here. The TV is playing a movie called How to Hook Up with Your High School Sweetheart. Something faintly glimmers in the sink's drain. Oh, hell no. Don't look in the freaking toilet. No one's crazy enough to hide stuff in there. The door unlocks before your very eyes. I can't even, look at anything, really. The drawer is locked for some reason. You need an itty-bitty key to open this. I do have an itty-bitty key. I have an itty-bitty key. I have an itty-bitty key. A small closet perfect for you, or small and lanky body fit into. I have an itty-bitty key. Why can't I use my itty-bitty key? A locked door. You're gonna need to snoop around without a search warrant to find the key. Aha! Do I really need a search warrant if they kidnapped me? I have the itty-bitty key. Let me into the itty-bitty door. The garbage bag stuffed with rotting food and dirt. Exactly where you belong. Now don't be hard on yourself. Axe stuck in the tree stump. You have no clue who could be chopping trees around here. Pull the axe out. You finally managed to get the axe out, but your arms burn with pain as you carry the axe. You finally using your brain instead of doing some dumb convoluted shit. After hacking away at the fence, it finally breaks, clearing the way for you. Someone's coming, hide. I think we gotta hide in the room. I don't think... You're hidden now. You're able to see the kidnapper walk right by you. Thankfully, they don't see you. I have the key. Maybe I'm just gonna open it later, you know? Escaping's overrated. Snooping around without a search warrant is better. You need to figure out what's going on here and how these men are involved in Emma's death. You also need to figure out who this elusive client is. Oh my gosh. I like the idea of escaping, calling for backup, though. Can't we do that part? Can't we call for backup? Like, come on. I put the paper blanket into the sink. Hey, sink, you're gonna need some kind of cup to get the water from here. An empty head with no heads inside it. Good, these idiots aren't cannibals. I need that. Also, you can't get into this one. What's the point in going in that room? Oh, would you look at that? Somehow putting all the plates in the sink opened up the lower cabinet. You look inside the cabinet. Got drain cleaner and a wrench. Damn, it almost feels like these kidnappers thought, well, if this dude tries to get out, let's make him do our housework. A wrench, huh? Drain cleaner. You pour the drain cleaner into the sink. Then you open the cabinet and use the wrench to get the shiny thing. You got an itty bitty key. Oh, this is what the itty bitty key is for. Aha. So now I got 2 itty bitty keys. You open the drawer with the itty bitty key, and in it you find a yearbook. Maybe I can find this guy's little crush. Some hot woman is meant to be the client, right? You flip through the yearbook with shaky arms and see your mom. Not because you're cold, but because of the amount of dopamine in your system is too much for your miserable self. Adelia Hollows. The realization is so brief that you almost miss it. You sift through more of the pages and you drug it super. Adelia Hollows is the only name with all that lovey-dovey stuff written around it. That's Mother's name. Yep! Oh, I knew all along. We all knew. Everyone knew. You continue looking through the drawer. And you come across an earring. An exact match to the one that Mother lost. You put the earring in your trouser pocket. Got Mother's earring. You also find your trench coat carelessly stuffed into the drawer. And you also find one more goodie. The payment details. Now, if you weren't drugged and tied to get the hell out of here, you'd be analyzing every little bit of this information. Unfortunately, that's not a luxury you can afford right now. And while drugged, it's ingrained into your mind that you must focus on the task at hand. And in this case, it's getting the hell out of here. I'm gonna go and then it'll be like, someone's coming! Hide! I'm gonna go just to the same exact spot I was, because I don't think that thing's gonna work. I don't think hiding under there is gonna work. Well, I'm glad I found everything, and the character finally realized it was his mom, even though we all knew all along the second... At least we can finally get rid of her. You walk outside, finally from that musty house, pulling your trench coat over your shoulders while doing so, and into the frigid air. Even though the drugs are wearing off, you aren't in a good state to be walking home in this cold. Not to mention that while you were correct about being in the suburbs, you had no clue what neighborhood you were in. Definitely not yours. As you walk, your vision goes dark. And just like that, it's the second faint of the day. The next time you wake up, thankfully, you're not tied up in any way, shape, or form. You're wrapped in a thick blanket, almost like how people wrap kittens up. A police car. Excuse me. Even with the blanket wrapped around you, your body is still coated in an icy numbness. Ah, you're up. Thought you were dead, to be honest. Where are you taking me? Back to your home. You wonder how the officer found you. It seems though the officer has read your mind, since he responds with, "We got a tip from someone and that you, Mr. Cypress, hasn't returned home." She sounded worried sick for you. Like when she called, she went straight to screaming about how you weren't home. She told us that you were probably doing drugs at your friend's house, scaring her because you weren't home. I'll say it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it a million times. I hate this woman! She's horrible! I hate her! Drugs? No, it's wrong, I didn't. I figured you'd deny that. You're shit at concealing the fact, though. Your eyes are completely whack. You feel the pace of your breathing increase. I mean, looking at you, if I'm being honest, I thought you OD'd or something. Then we would have to tell your poor mother. I didn't. You're so exhausted that you can't fight against what the officer is saying. Heck, he sounds almost like your inner voice, which you're already not so keen on fighting. Your two friends are fine, by the way. We questioned them about everything, and they just said that you had no clue you were ODing. To be quite frank, one of them seemed quite scared upon hearing that you might have been dead. You don't feel like you're in your body right now. It's just like when you realize that Emma was dead, you feel like you're watching some awful, comically twisted movie. You wonder if you even experienced any of that. You wonder if you even saw the yearbook. The rest of the drive is dead silent. You're left alone to ponder everything. Mother, she knows where the kidnappers live. And all that stuff I found. Wait, I should have the earrings and the pay details in my pocket. When I return home, I need to look at all that. Also, I need to know, what does Mother have to do with this case? She paid! Didn't you listen to the guys? Oh, they paid me to do it. Come on. This is the end of the chapter. Heck yeah, I'll save. I'm gonna go back. I think there's 2 dead ends in this, but... Now, dear reader, before we continue, I have to warn you about something. This chapter gets dark. Really dark, at least. That's what I think. If this last chapter didn't satisfy your cravings for a dark story, then certainly this one will. Want to see the spoiler content warning? Yes. From now on, the game will contain death, thoughts of suicide, lots of self-loathing, self-harm, mature themes, and very uncomfortable scenes. A good chunk of it is implied, but some is shown outright. If you're uncomfortable with going darker, stop reading. Then let's get on with it. Chapter 4. Repudiation. While the officer drives, you drift in and out of consciousness, all wrapped up in the blanket. It all goes by in a blur. The car finally halts and you arrive home. Home to Mother. No! Oh, darling! Sweetie, I was worried sick about you. I didn't know what I would have done if they killed you. Mother, you are a freaking idiot, and I hate you. It didn't even occur to you that if you hadn't escaped, you would have never seen your mother again. I wish I never did see her again. No. She would have been left all alone. Oh, the horror. You fight the urge to let out a sigh. With what you now know, you don't know how you could do anything but sigh. Still, though, you refrain from confronting her about the pay details and the earring, at least for now. There's a deep feeling in your stomach that you know the truth about this case. But when it comes to stuff like this, you've never been in a gut instinct type of person. Don't worry about that, Mother. What matters is that I'm back, safe and sound, yada yada yada. You know what else matters? You put yourself in danger again, just like the adrenaline junkie you are. Don't gaslight me. Mother, please don't do this right now. I need some rest. Don't you tell me to get some rest when you're the very reason I've been awake. Part of you really wants to tell her the same thing. Mother, you knew what I was in for when I decided to become a detective. If anything, Father's experience should have taught you. Besides, I still think that you'd be better off if something happened to me, judging by your behaviors, anyway. You really care that little about your life? I care a lot about my life because I'm actually doing something with it instead of baking cookies and murdering people on the side. You know the real answer to that one, but you're never going to say it to her. I do care, Mother. Let's put it this way. If I had no regard for my life, why would I try to save myself? You were on drugs, Ollie. Drugs make people act very out of character. Yeah, you wonder how I got there. Alright, you can't deny that. Heck, the drugs even made you say, you're not taking this skinny goth chick alive. Even if it weren't for the drugs, you can't tell if you're batshit insane or not. Speaking of which, why did you tell the officers that I was at a friend's house doing drugs, of all things? I neither have an interest in drugs, nor do I have friends to do them with in the first place. I figured that it would just be another thing that you're hiding behind my back. I don't know what to believe anymore. Was she trying to cover something up, or does she really just view me in that way? Personally, I believe that you're pretending to be friendless just to appease me, right? Ah, yes, pretending to be a lonely boy just for the sake of pleasing Mother. It's a no-brainer as to why Mother wouldn't be so keen on you having friends. But there's no reason for her to get so riled up about it when you don't even have any. It's just like earlier. Even when you're saying it as it is, she never believes you. It makes you feel like maybe you do have friends in some weird way. Maybe you really are just absolutely positively delusional. You say one thing, then do the exact opposite. You never consider Emma to be a close friend, and look at how you've been over the course of her case. If anything, it would be weird for you to be obsessed with Emma's case if she weren't a friend. It's just, I love you, the real you, and I don't want you putting up a mask just to appease me. You should be able to be the real you around me. You shouldn't have to lie to me. Mother, everything's about you. Okay, it's hard to be real me around you when everything's about you and everything I do is wrong, and every time I do something that's the real me, it means I don't love you to you. But that doing that would stress the hell out of you, though. Now, when you say, be the real you to someone who's playing an elaborate game of pretend for so long, it's not going to fly over too well. At this point, you feel as though the real you, at least the version Mother thinks exists, is buried in your mind. The gaslighting. Bro, the gaslighting. Mother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mother. For what exactly? For all of this? For making you think that something's wrong with you? For making you worry about me so much? Because I obviously made you do that, and you didn't do that yourself. Mother stares at you in silence. Whatever joy she had from your arrival has long since disappeared. Just go to bed, Ollie. You try and muster up the courage to tell her that you know. You know that she was involved somehow. It isn't even like that train of thought doesn't make any sense. Still, though, how could you do that to your own mother? Do what? You probably should go to bed. You need some rest. What you need to do to your own mother is turn her in right now. Don't go to bed in her house. She already was fine with them kidnapping and drugging you. What's she gonna do to you? Part of you thinks that it would be a terrible idea to sleep right now, not when the perpetrator could be right under your nose. You begin to look at the payment details again, hoping that the Adela Hollows in the yearbook wasn't your dear mother. Sadly, the billing address is a perfect match. No! This can't be right. There's no freaking way Mother could be behind all of this. Right? Even if I'm not going insane, what would be the motive for such a crime? Sometimes there isn't a motive for a crime, or at least not one you can discern at a glance. Sometimes it really is just the perpetrator was batshit insane. This is different, and you know it. Why would Mother go out of her way to hire someone to take Emma out? That doesn't sound like an impulsive kill. I need to sleep. Maybe the drugs haven't worn off yet. Yeah, we know that that's a load of BS, you freaking coward. You fall asleep very quickly, thankfully. If you ever want to confront Mother about what she's done, you're gonna need to be in the right headspace. She's gonna kill you in your sleep. You wake up to pouring rain. This had better not be a wet... Nah, you're not like that. You're not that dirty-minded. Looks like those drugs must have done something to you. This place, these trees, where am I? Well, don't just stand there, look around this gosh darn place. This doesn't feel like the right way. These trees look like the wings of a moth or something. I wonder if I'm gonna have to do some puzzles. You're greeted by the sound of a familiar piercing wind. Libretto City has literally been nicknamed Windy City, so it's no wonder that this sound would be familiar. I feel like I need to get to the other side of this river. You might be in a dream right now, but you sure as hell don't want to wake up thinking you're cold and wet. I'm certain that I can work with something in the last area. This isn't at all where I came from. Considering my train of thought, I don't think that comes as a surprise. Better get to it then. I need to figure out how to get through this. Well, boy, you removed the rope from the wooden pole. I got rope. Activate this teleporter. Oh yeah, let's do it. I guess I got the right one. I'm gonna go back to where I started, aren't I? These games always have a dream of some kind. Oh goodness, this reminds me of when I was investigating in Cardinal Park. It looks like the strange green realm operates in the same way. Oh man. Alright, I'll do it. I think this is just the dead end though, so there's no point in getting in that other teleporter. Ironic, isn't it? Sleep is meant to provide you with rest. It appears as though when you sleep, however, your mind provides you with BS puzzles to solve. Yeah, only in these games. Gotta find the path. Great, it puts me right back there, huh? Okay, I want to say that maybe it's like a sequence, like if I go from this teleporter to that teleporter, to maybe this teleporter will take me to this teleporter over there where I'm supposed to go, maybe. But that might not be the case, because for some reason I can't go over there. Somehow, I don't know how to get over there. Nope, that's not the case, obviously. Going on those other teleporters do nothing. I haven't been on that teleporter, really. It doesn't look like there's really a way to get to it, either. How are you supposed to get to something that doesn't have flowers, you know? Magic flowers. How do you get somewhere that magic flowers aren't leading the path, you know? Oh yeah, I forgot you could remove the rope. I imagine we used the rope to like swing onto some other platform or something. Like the one over here! Just which one do I need it for? Let's try it off of this platform, and then we'll try it off the other one if that fails. Oh, it looks like you're gonna need some rope to get up here. Oh yeah, there we go. Thankfully, you seem to have some. Threw up the rope. Don't know how that worked, but okay. Activate. Yep, let's get out of here, finally! Why did I forget that you can get rope? This is dream logic, okay? It's all dream logic, so... Oh. So dream logic, the rope works, even though it's not tethered to anything. You got the rope, don't hang yourself with it. No promises, really. Not at all. Not crazy enough to walk through literal fire, are you? Yes. Oh, well, I mean in this dream. The bottom is an inky void, but you hear the faint gurgling of water. I got a coffee cup. I'm gonna do all this. Only to get the wrong teleporter, I bet. Okay. Don't take me back to the beginning. Please. Oh, can I do the rope thing here? Yeah, there we go. Let's try it. Only to get put back at the very... Well, looks like you're on the other side of the frozen river, finally. You should probably continue moving. You continue walking through the forest. Even though you're dreaming, the cold air still pricks your face just as painfully as it does when you're awake. This is what they call a lucid dream, right? When you read fantasy books, the protagonist almost always has some kind of dream that leads them to the grand epiphany. And all of their problems are cast away just like that. You know, that it doesn't really work like that in real life, but you wish it did. Maybe you'd know what to do if it did. If you were some kind of sign in here. Of all the dreams I could had, I just had to have this kind of mind-boggling dream. I wish that this dream were about Father instead. It would be a good distraction from everything. And here you are, at the castle. What? I've never been into a castle before. Why is there one in my dream? Alas, you feel very compelled to enter this not creepy castle. Oh my god, a functional sign! Finally! Things are really looking up now, huh? What are you doing? You need to enter the castle! For some reason. Okay, castle. Yes. Hello, is anyone there? No answer. This door isn't budging at all. Looks like I won't be able to. I require an offering! Well, you heard the voice. You need an offering. That's what... Looks like you can't escape the random snowmen everywhere. Somehow, you picked up a pigeon. You heard the voice. You need to offer something to them. I got the pigeons for this. Can I offer you the grass? Oh, the flowers. Snowflowers. Will you accept these snowflowers I've got? You hold the flowers to the door. You haven't a clue how they're blooming in this cold, but you don't question it. Dreams never fully make sense. I brought flowers, will you take them? Hopefully they don't take this as a romantic gesture. There's been too many instances where people confuse your manners with infatuation. You sure as hell hope that isn't the case now. Come in. You can't help but wonder if the chandelier will fall on you. Someone's there. Someone familiar. Mother? In dreams, everyone you see is someone you've crossed paths with before. And this person... Oh, Father? You. What about me? The man on the throne stares down at you. Never have he felt so small. Even though you're stupid tall. It's like staring at into a cold mirror. You're me. How strange. Well, what kind of dream would it be without some wacky cloning BS? Why do you look so surprised? That should be how I look. His eyes scare you for a bit. They look sort of like Emma's when she... Nope, not gonna think about that. What's going on? Why am I having a dream like this? I need to bring you back to reality. Your head's been too up in the clouds for my liking. Too high for your liking? I'd say that I'm already quite grounded. You're the one living in I don't know what the hell this is. Well, for one thing, you didn't recognize me as your ego. Though I shouldn't be surprised you don't see me. You're sitting atop a throne. How could I not see you? Well, this whole thing, we both know that it's nowhere near as grand as the throne other egos have. He speaks as though you know what the hell he's on about. You sort of get where he's going with this. He still sounds like a maniac, though, just like you sometimes. In all honesty, it's your fault this throne's so small, constantly tearing us down and whatnot. How could I ever recover from your beatings? This little talk with your ego is reminding you a little bit too much of the last time with the shrink. Could you please stop? Kill yourself, then. Why so surprised? I'm part of you. Kill yourself, then we'll both shut up, huh? Oh, looks like this isn't gonna turn into one of those shrink conversations. Now that shrink told you that you're not trying hard enough to be happy. This conversation with your ego is exactly what you need. Who could understand you better than you, right? Except for Mother, of course. No! You're a detective, your mother's a murderer. Please stop. If you're part of me, you know why I can't just do that. Oh, right. That stupid case you've been whining about. Yes, I have to get to the bottom of it. I was hoping that sleeping would make it a bit easier, but here I am. We both know that's a load of BS, says he to you, a man who spent the better half of a decade training to become a detective. Just to continue your dead father's legacy. The absolute gall of this, your ego, can't be this bad, right? You decide to change the subject. Why am I here? In this castle I invited you in? No, why am I in this moth forest? Why is this my dream? 1. This isn't a moth forest, this is your dreamscape. And 2, I brought you to your dreamscape. Just to do some stuff for us. Oh, come on! You could be having a dream about how to stop Mother, this perpetrator of Emma's murder. But instead you decide to engage in self-care. BS? Self-care? Sure as hell isn't gonna bring anyone back. Why would it help you? I know what you're thinking. I hear it all. That's why this castle is so hollow. Even thoughts can echo off the walls. But in all honesty, I deserve care for putting up with your constant self-beatings. You really want to tell yourself to screw off. Fine, just pretend I'm, say, your dear mother. How about it? Never have you ever needed to hear your low voice coming out of your mother's mouth. Gore, guts, and viscera, all fine. But your voice coming out of your mother? Hell no. Seems your ego realized that too. His voice shifts into Mother's voice. You do everything for her like the good son you totally are. So why wouldn't you do it for us? Maybe I'd do what you want me to if you just told me instead of dancing around it. Fine then, I'd like for you to get me some snow. I don't mean the snow outside. I'd like you to fetch me from the mountains. They're right across the bridge. The consistency is just right for what I'm going to do. Then I'll get to it then. You'd much rather finish this up as quickly as possible. Hold on. I can keep you in this dream as long as I want. You won't wake up until you finally learn what I need you to. And if you decide to go and screw this up, you won't be out for a while. Now, when did your ego become like a mob boss? Doesn't matter, I just have to complete the task quickly as possible. You nod your head at your ego and get the walking out. You half expect them to begin ranting and raving at you in your mother's voice. Thankfully, they don't. Seems like the storm died down a bit. Well, what am I waiting for? I should head over to wherever the mountains are. Let's see, my ego told me that's to the left across the bridge. More puzzles? Oh, God. I love it. The path to the left should lead you to the mountains, while down the cliff Should take you to the ice caverns. Oh, do I have to get something from there too? You tread through the frozen landscapes. You haven't a clue as to why your dreamscape had to be a frozen wasteland. This thought is amplified by the time you actually reach the mountains. Screw this. What the hell does my ego even mean by teaching me a lesson? You decide to stop thinking about it. It's too cold out for you to be thinking of of stuff like that. Guess that I should start collecting snow. I don't want to get lost, though. Everything looks the same around here. You shouldn't feel like you're being watched in this cold landscape. But you do. Aside from that, your best friend here is probably gonna be crap at that doesn't... gonna be shit that doesn't look so cold. That should help you out in some way. Wanna take some snow? Yeah. Got snow, your pockets feel really cold. You can feel the snow pressing up against your body. It's really cold. How much of this stuff do I need to get? Got snow, your pockets feel really cold. Yes, that is blood. You've seen enough of it that it shouldn't even affect you at this point. What is this? What is with my dreamscape being a looping mess? Maybe I go this way instead. Yes, this is blood. You see enough that it shouldn't affect you at this point. Screw this! Yep, you're gonna lose sleep over this. Oh, man. Got snow, your pockets feel really cold. And goodness, your mind just loves random gory stuff. I wonder what way I have to go. I'm gonna try the red arrow, actually. Oh, that's the right decision. Thank goodness, because I kind of forgot the way. This book, it looks so familiar. Now I remember. You pick the book up off the cold ground, snowflakes flutter about as you brush white powder off of the book. Father would read this to me when I was a kid. Even though I don't remember the exact details of it, I know that it made me happy. Maybe it was because of the story, or maybe because Father did it for you. No, it couldn't have been that. When Mother read it to me after Father died, it just wasn't the same. It was like she was expecting you to feel happy. And when you didn't jump up and down for joy like she wanted, she seemed disappointed. I remember that Mother threw the book into the fireplace one day. She was done with it. She was done with my ungratefulness. Thinking about it still makes you sad. You tried to find the same book somewhere, anywhere. But to no avail. You're sure it went out of print. Even if you could find it in some sort of vintage store, you're sure it would cost far too much money. Money that's better spent on Mother. You sift through the pages of book, trying to see if there's anything in there. Trying to see if you can regain your memories of those childhood days somehow. It's all empty. Doesn't make sense. I can't remember what was in this book. Why would the memory appear in my dream? Guess it's silly to hope. You feel your body shaking a bit. I should head back to the castle. I'm gonna freeze out here. Oh yeah, you're definitely shaking because of the cold. You barely hear anything but the high-pitched wind and the snow under your feet. Your childhood memories are fragmented. You remember bits and pieces, yet it's not enough. More than anything, you want to turn back the clock and go back to before Father died. Your life is split into two parts, before Father's death and after. You don't remember too much of the before. You remember everything since Father's death. You remember exactly when he died. It was a few days after your birthday. You rushed home expecting everything to be all fine and stuff. A far cry from the paranoid man you grew up to be. Only to find... You could tell something was wrong, even when you were just 10 years old. Cold skin is what you could remember. Oliver, what are you doing here? You shouldn't. Blood poured out of his mouth. That was the first time you've ever seen so much blood. It wouldn't be the last. You still remember how the blood stain remained in the carpet for a few weeks. After regaining composure, as much as you can when you're dying, Father told you, Oliver, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Oliver, not your mother. Asher, what? Oh no. As soon as Mother entered the dining kitchen, which she's probably responsible, Father's eyes fell upon her. He never finished his last sentence. And to this day, you're certain he meant take care of your mother, which is what you've been doing, even if she drives you up the walls with her antics. You can't just abandon Father's last wish. You can't just abandon Mother. She's all you have left in this world. No, she is not! No, she is not! She is horrible! Seems that your ego changed back to normal appearance. You don't know how you would have been able to deal with him looking like your dear mother. You get ready for another one of his stupid requests. What is he going to tell you that he needs water next? Why the frick can't he just get it for himself? You took quite a while. Got sidetracked. I'll take that as a yes. What does it matter to you? You said it yourself. You can keep this dream going on forever. So all this time you've in this world. So if you have all the time in the world, unless that mom kills you in your sleep. Shut up! We both know there's much more than an ounce of truth in that. You're just too much of a mother freaker to accept it. Could you not? You know I'm right. You're her little bitch boy, and you've dragged me down with you like a crab in a bucket. Well, could you not call me a mother freaker at least? Your ego's having a blast watching you lose your cool. Fine, but you really need to stop doing everything she says. It's undignified. How do you suppose I do that? See, if I don't have the answer, you sure as hell don't either. Just go frick yourself. Nope, you're not gonna go freak yourself. Anyway, I've got the snow. Give your ego the snow. You feel like a drug dealer right now, especially saying, I've got the snow, mister. What on earth is he gonna do with all of that snow? Alright, this works. Is that all? Of course not. Go on then, what do I need now? Now I need to head into the ice caverns. There should be a chest at the end of it filled with stones. I'd like for you to go get it. On it. You have to go on this journey because you have to realize that your mother is not what he wants you to take care of. It's yourself. Go on, get the stones. I'm going to get the stones. You have to realize that your mother is... I don't need to go back there. Oh. We go down, I guess? You climb down the side of the cliff and wind up in the ice cavern with a shit ton of water. Alright, my ego said that the chest is right at the end of this cavern, right? Now just to figure out how the hell I'm gonna get there. Oh, great, it's one of these, too. Oh my god, another functional sign. This really is a dream. It reads, Freezy every ice flow to clear path forward. You can backtrack on white ice flows, but can't on blue ones. Remember how to control your jumps. Yeah, you kind of fell into the cold water. It hurts like hell. Where am I supposed to go? I have to be more careful. Looks like the waterfall stopped. Oh, I had to do that. Okay. To make sure all the ices were jumped on. Oh my god. There isn't anything blocking your path for this room. Looks like it's just a matter of figuring out which is the right way. Maybe it would still be a good idea to step on any of these flows as you can, though. Well, waterfalls block paths. Thankfully, I doubt you're gonna have to freeze every ice flow in the room. Probably only every ice flow on which the path you take. Okay. The waterfall stopped. I go in here. You managed to reach the end of this godforsaken ice cavern. Finally! Yeah, I feel that. Oh, it wasn't as bad as the first one for some reason. You open the chest to reveal the stones you need. Glad that's done and over with. You put them in your coat pockets. Don't make me go back. Out comes a hand trying to grab you. Thankfully, you didn't fall into its grasp. Still, the hand remains. Give it a high five. So the feeling of your body being scanned by leering eyes. You walk the hell out of the ice cavern, trying to ignore the eyes blinking into existence. It isn't very comforting. The denial of yours. Mrs. Lucia wasn't too pleased with how your coping habits had deteriorated. Although the last therapist you had would probably be happy with you manning up. 2 years ago, probably. Would anyone believe me if I told them? You wait outside the office with your mother. You just celebrate your birthday this week. Most people would think it's weird to have a therapy appointment at this time. You think you have a pretty good reason, though, given what happened on your birthday. Even then, you wanted to speak to Mrs. Lucia anyways, about the looming dread of adulthood. Everything about it scared the out of you. When you hit 18, all of a sudden, you need to be even more put together. You have to know that to do everything without even needing how to ask. At least, when you were a kid, you had the safety of, oh, well, I'm a stupid little kid. Of course I don't know how to do this. An excuse turns mute once you hit 18. Not to mention that mother can legally kick you out now onto the cold, desolate streets of Libretto City. Obviously, if that happens, you're either going to die of starvation, getting railed by random people, getting stabbed, or anything from an endless array of possibilities. You're thankful that she didn't kick you out. You thought that would be her gift to you for turning 18. But you can't tell if what actually happened is worse or not. I'm still lucky though, right? Lucky that mother loves me enough to deal with me? The thought's comforting like a slice of coffee cake. The moment you take a bite, all you can think about is the sweet taste. It is comforting for some time. But when you're done pigging out on the cake, you feel gross. Your mouth, lips, stomach all feel disgusting. You want to purge it all out like it was never even there. How egotistical would it be to believe in mother's love? Aside from all that, though, you wanted to address feelings of revulsion. It isn't the first for you to feel that towards yourself, but in the wake of what happened, you really could use some help. Before you can go deeper into thought, though, you hear a voice coming from the door. The door slightly creaked open, though the little gap you're able to see. Definitely not Mrs. Lucia. The man looks like a complete opposite of her. Sure as hell sounds like an opposite. This man is an absolute hunk. Imitating, even to you, intimidating. Mother, where's Mrs. Lucia? She's supposed to be here today. Are we even in the right room? Ollie, you're running late for this godforsaken appointment. Get in. And stop wasting my damn time. But if you're gonna keep on nagging me, then fine, I'll tell you. But don't say I didn't warn you when I do tell you. Ignorance is bliss. She was murdered. Sigh. You don't like what mother might be implying. At last, you can't pester her about it until you get this appointment done and over with. It's only inside the room that you're able to really get a feel for this new therapist. His cologne overpowers your nose with a musty, sweaty odor. Gross. You haven't a clue why a lot of men love to smell like sweat. Nevertheless, you ignore the odor and you can put it up with it if he helps you, right? Not to mention that you've always been a bit too effeminate for a man. Maybe effeminate for a man. Maybe you're just overreacting? Good evening, Mr. Cypress. I'm Richard Hampton, but you call me Dr. Hampton. I'm going to be your new therapist from here out. My new therapist? Pleased to meet you, Dr. Hampton. I'm here hoping you can put the maximum effort into bettering yourself. That way I get paid. I mean, that way this little meeting's productive. Right. You sit your ass down on the leather couch. It's warm, but not too cozy. In fact, it's a tad bit too hot in here. So, kid, what's troubling you? You could take a spin of the big old wheel of disorders, but you'd rather try to pick something out methodically. Growing bored by the silence, Dr. Hampton goes to retrieve your fat case file. Then he begins to shuffle through it, graciously giving you a judgmental glance here and there. So you felt at file over says... He speaks to you like you're a small child. A stupid small child at that. I might be ill, but I'm not a freaking idiot. Oh! You cut him some slack on the judgy stares. The shit in the file would make anyone concerned. Hell, you're sure if any president got a hold of this file, you'd be blacklisted from every detective agency in the city. At the same time, though, you want to tell him to just stop reading it. The stuff in there has been bothering you for as long as you can remember. Not even with Miss Lucia's help were you able to combat it, because you're constantly around an abusive person. An abusive, dismissive person who's only obsessed with herself and how you serve her. The one you might have a chance at solving, if this hunk can just give you some good advice. Finally, Dr. Hampton finishes shuffling through the file. After around 10 minutes, you lost track of time. In that moment of inactivity, you sort of came out of your body and went into your head. Better that this appointment finishes up quicker, though. So there's a lot of issues we could speak about today. I'm well aware of that. Your sharp voice dripped with icicles. The last time you spoke like that here was when you first met Miss Lucia. That always seemed to happen with strangers. Maybe that's why you could never break the ice with people. No need to restrain yourself so much. Apologies. Don't apologize. Most therapists would try to dissuade you from apologizing so much because it screws up your self-image. However, Dr. Hampton is very much not like other therapists, for better or for worse. Kid, no real man apologizes like that. You don't know why he's sitting on the couch. Couches are meant for lounging, not for sitting so rigidly. Pardon? Geez, and stop with the itty-bitty sentences, boy. No one's going to take you seriously like that. You quickly realize that this isn't worth your time. Dr. Hampton is just telling you stuff you already know at this point. Time's still passing. White snowflakes fall outside the window. You feel cold. You feel cold. You feel cold. I was able to tell what your problems were just from looking at you. You gotta work out. Get those endorphins pumping, instead of sitting in the damn couch being a freaking whale. Drink protein shakes, ditch coffee, all at once. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Maybe you could handle one at a time, working out or ditching coffee. But there's no way in hell you're gonna do both without throwing yourself out the window. Mr. Lucia never suggested anything that made you this apprehensive. It seemed doable to your sorry ass. It all goes by in a blur. Dr. Hampton rambles about exercise and all that good stuff about getting ladies. In all honesty, you might just consider it. If it weren't for the fact that you spent way too much time in the gym last year only for your wife-like build to remain waif-like. Not to mention that you have zero interest in ladies, not after what happened. Yeah, with your situation, living with that woman, I wouldn't be interested in women either. That tag on this coat label says something about your sports medicine. Makes sense why he's not pushing exercises so hard. And that's why if you don't buy my protein shakes, you're gonna be a sad bum. Any questions? No questions. An automatic response. You'd much rather not fall victim to a protein shake pyramid scheme. Aside from that, there is something I would like to speak about. I don't fully remember it, but it's all started with this woman. The memory is buried under an avalanche in your mind. You don't know where it is, but you never want to find it. You'd much rather go on with your life without it. The words came hurling out of your mouth so quickly that you can't register them. All that practice in your head was for nothing. Dr. Hampton stands with a face of stone, very similar to how you hold yourself. You hate the feeling of tears calling down your skin. Even in therapy, where you're meant to spill your feelings, you hate it. You haven't turned to ice yet, which means you can still hurt. Tears are perfect ammunition for people seeking to do harm. The only positive is that they help people emphasize, right? Not Dr. Hampton, though. The warm tears are all that keep you from zoning out. In hindsight, you wish that you had zoned out. You're one lucky man, you know. I'm what now? A shivering voice breaks out from your lips. Lucky, that's what you are? So lucky that you spent your night trying to drown yourself in tears? And for the first time in a while you wanted to join Father? The silence makes you want to walk out of the snowstorm and freeze yourself. Turn your disgusting skin to pure cold ice, pure cold hard ice that nothing could penetrate. Not words, not people, nothing. Glimmering perfect, untainted ice. All without the tears you spent only to become a parody of perfect, only for it to be stripped away from you when you finally had it together. You hoped that on that night your well of tears would run dry. With hardship comes character, right? After all, no one likes someone who hasn't been through something. You were already so hateable before. At least hardship could make you better. But of course, it doesn't work like that, so no freaking crap, it doesn't. Because if it did, when Father died, you wouldn't even be in this damn office now. None of that shit made you stronger. It turned you into this. You slowly fade out of the background of Dr. Hampton's marriage, drinking, sex, and gambling problems. It becomes apparent to you that this is his session, too. You were supposed to get help. Instead, you're just sitting in this hollow office crying, listening to a 40-year-old man prattle on and on. Oh my god, I had a therapist like this. Every time I tried to make the therapy sessions about myself, he would go on a rant about his own life and how my problems were insignificant because his problems were so much more complex than mine, and I could never understand the complexity of his problems and how insignificant my problems were. It's the same thing. I hate it. I hate that this is happening. While in the background, you clear the ugly tears from your face. You tune back to hear Dr. Hampton's words. Like most guys never get any sort of female attention, you know? And they don't complain about it. And here you are moaning about it. I bet that if you didn't get any ladies, you'd still be here, whining away. I can see why Mrs. Lucia couldn't handle you. You're quickly deduced why Mrs. Lucia isn't here. Well, kid, I don't know what to tell you. I'd say you're a lost cause. I already knew that. Why can't I move on from all of this? 'Cause you're stuck with the abuser. In hindsight, maybe it was a bad idea to become a detective. No! Given your experience with Definol. No! And your inability to freeze over. No. Dr. Hampton promptly dismisses you. You adjust your coat and rush out the door. Adulthood has brought nothing but despair to you so far. You wish to turn back the clock to before that night. To before father died. So how'd your session go? You hope she doesn't notice the dry tears on your pale face. That bad, huh? Could we speak about it outside? Mother looks displeased. Very standard for her. The two of you exit the office. The wind wails, carrying small white snowflakes through the air. People always say snow makes everything look so whimsical. Sure, you agree that the snow's pretty, but you don't really find it to be whimsical, not when it cuts all the color from the already dull streets. Besides, you've never been one for the festival aspects of winter. You prefer the gloominess of a cold day. You can't tell if Mother is displeased because you're making her stand out in the cold, or if it's because of the appointment. You're already feeling the crisp air sting your body. It must be worse for her. Mother, I didn't want to speak about it in there. Not near him. Don't talk about your new therapist like that. Oh, they must have killed the old therapist, and that guy wasn't a therapist. But what if that guy was one of the guys who kidnapped you? That'd be screwed up. What I don't get is why you didn't tell me about this new therapist beforehand. Oh, really? I did mention that Miss Lucia wasn't here. You should have pieced it together. You made it out like she was on break. Did I now? Or are you just trying to shove all the blame on me? You could have at least told me before the appointment. Ugh, it's no wonder Mrs. Lucia take a permanent break from you. She told me herself, you're an adult now with zero signs of improving. Poor woman couldn't handle you. Could you blame her? Not even Miss Lucia had faith in me, huh? Alright, so you switched me over to Dr. Hampton? That makes sense. But I'd like to know why you didn't tell me. Oliver, I'm tired of you. What makes you think other people will put up with you and your issues? And bingo, hit a right on the head. That's what everybody and their mother's been thinking. Why do you waste every part of Mother so much? Her money, her time, her energy, her love. What's the point of any of that if you're never going to change? I'm a bad mother now, right? Yeah, always have been, always will be. Mother, this doesn't have anything to do with your parenting. Then why are you looking at me like that? How else am I meant to look? For once, you're not supposed to get all sensitive with me. I'll stop when you tell me why you didn't give me a notice about Miss Lucia. And here we go again. I had no time to prepare for this new therapist. I really wanted to get something on my chest with Miss Lucia. Why not share it with me if you're itching to let it out? I don't want to burden you. Ah, so now you care about burdening me? Well, all this shit. Even though you already made me burn money and time on the sorry excuse of a therapist? You know that I have a degree, and I'm your mother. I should be more than qualified to hear your problems. Sometimes you feel much more like how Father felt when it comes to Mother. And that's more than sugarcoating it. You'd much rather Mother stop caring. The more she worries about you, the worse you feel. The two of you get into a taxi and drive the heck away from the office. Thank goodness, no way Mother was going to walk in that cold. As you gaze out the window, you feel cold sweat creeping down your back. Ollie, sweetie, what's wrong? Shut up. Part of you wants to tell her about how she's made everything worse for you. About how her lack of understanding's made you feel even worse about everything. About how what she did to you is going to follow you to your grave. If Mother hadn't switched you over today, it would have been perfect to get it all off your chest. You know that by the next appointment, if you even have one, the memory will be clotted like a scar. Her finger barely grazes your coat. Wow, just wow, Mother whispers, not gently though. You shrink into the corner of the car. Gazing at the snow outside makes you wonder if its purity could cleanse you of everything. You're so boring, Ollie. I'm your mother, for goodness sake. God, man. She reminds me so much of my mom, but my mom was unbearably worse, I must say. Your ego remains atop the pedestal. All the while, something looms over him. Oh, except for the murdering part. I guess my mother's not a murderer. Maybe. You know what? Given the history and the past, you know, and what she told me about my own father's death, which is very similar, eerily similar story to mine. Like, my father died when I was 11. And my mom told me how she waited to call the ambulance even after he passed out and he couldn't wake her up. And she waited like an hour or 45 minutes or something. She waited even after that. You know what? I should be talking about this. You wonder why. Wonder why. All the while something looms above him. You see it. It's scanning the Hall of Throne room. Or maybe she is. I don't know. I'm not making accusations. It's just what she told me. Whatever. And then she was terrible after it, too. And it's wondering, like, I wonder, she was terrible before and terrible after, and my father was nice sometimes and terrible most of the time. It's nice sometimes, but that's because he was kind of lazy. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. You see, it's scanning the Hall of Throne. It's scanning the Hall of Throne room. You decide not to mention it. So I see you have it. Give him the weird-ass stones. To you, this feels like one of those stupid book plots where the protagonist has to fetch arbitrary shit to make stuff happen. You're getting all misty-eyed. Don't bother with the mask in here. I know every part of you. Why am I reliving those events? I have to show you something so you don't devote the rest of your life to a murderer. Could you at least tell me that much? Don't look at me, I haven't a clue either. How come I can remember half my childhood while those memories were surface? Why am I able to remember every detail of those horrible memories? You know what they say in journalism 101. Bad news means good attention. Same thing applies to what we remember. Look, I don't make the rules when it comes to what we remember, but it isn't so bad. You know, a little something called learn from the past to not screw up from the future. You know, learning that nothing's gonna work on the woman you call a mother. I don't know why any part of me would feel that way towards Mother. Does there even need to be a reason? You still feel it, I know you do. In all honesty, you'd be even crazier if you didn't feel that way. You should know, and it's because of Father. You literally can't hold onto that woman any longer. Are you sure that you're not the one behind those flashbacks? Maybe I am, but so what? You're still gonna relive it with or without knowing if it was me. It's better you relive it now rather than later. Wouldn't want the perpetrator to get away. Just quit it! I can't think of any motivation for her to murder Emma. Can't think or won't. 1 point for your shitty ego. 0 points for Oliver. Stop being so dramatic. Oh, and there it is. Mother's exact words right down to their tone. Sorry. And another thing. If you can't think of any motivation, why are you still toiling with the idea that she murdered Emma? The murder was so methodical that there's no way in hell it wasn't thought out. So don't go pulling the, oh, it was a crazy axe murderer. What is it that you want? Carrots! No, I mean, what is the bigger picture? There's something underlying motive behind all this, right? Oh, shucks, yeah, all I want are carrots. Why am I making you go on this big-ass quest? To satisfy my god-awful carrot craving. I want your head out. I want your head out of the clouds. This case won't end well for you if you keep on denying Mother's involvement. Hell, I doubt your life's gonna go well if you keep on defending her. You had to hear it from someone. And it as sure as hell wasn't gonna be the monster of a mother. Yep, this is all heading a little bit too hard for you. Just tell me what I need to do. Fine. The sign should point you to the plot of land, and there should be carrot seeds somewhere there for you to grow. Just harvest as many carrots as you can. Got it. Your ego hands you the watering can, and you get the frick out of there. You really don't know what's going on with this dream anymore, but the words your ego said ring in your mind. Can't dwell on those for too long, gotta get carrots. Of course, you haven't a clue what someone's meant to do with a gazillion carrots, except have incredibly good eyesight. Thankfully, this area doesn't seem too bad for farming. Guess I better go get it then. I know, you don't know what you have. You don't know yourself to have the best green from. Gotta put that to the test though, right? Ooh, a sharp pointy scythe. Badass and perfect for harvesting. Yeah, let's get it. Got the scythe. The statue looms above you. Looks like you could bow down and pray to it to turn back time if you think your luck is shite. Hell no. Wait, you pray to the statue. Okay. He said there would be carrot seeds around. Got snow. Got a packet of carrot seeds. How many of these do I gotta get, bro? Looks like you're out of water. Go and refill the damn thing. Chippity chop chop chop. I don't think you harvest carrots with a scythe, though. I think you just kind of pull them out of the ground or something. Well, you absolutely screwed up at harvesting and the carrots and died. Boo. I got too enthusiastic about carrots. What is that? Is that the hand? Harvest the hand? You get into position to choppity chop chop chop. Got a hand, not a helping one though. What's under the snow for there to be a hand poking out? It felt like it was trying to grab at me. I know that the hand in my pocket shouldn't be moving. It feels like it's gonna crawl up my skin. Still though, I'd rather know where it is than not know. The hands, they feel like they're moving in your coat pockets. And they watch your fragile body. You somehow feel like you see right through the thick coat and sweater. It's far too familiar. Like the way she looked at you. Vague images swirl in your mind of something you wanted to keep buried. Your numb body crumbles to the ground. You hate how visible you are in the snowscape, like a black spot on the white canvas. No, no, please don't. Please, I can't relive that. No, not now, not when I... They swarm around you like vultures searching for their next kill. No part of you is safe from them. Neither is your mind. Ice cracks in your mind. Is there specifically to prevent. Everything floods in. All you've been running from. All you've been denying. And just like a flood, you can't stop it. On your 18th birthday, after a long day out with Mother, you return home. Seeing as how it is winter, you go up to your room to change out your heavy coat. It's too hot in the house. The door is completely locked, but you still feel like something's here with you in the room. Someone. You decide to chalk it up to the general paranoia, though. As someone who reads into crimes too much, you think that just about anything could kill you. And what you always take away is that something could have been differently. Maybe if you lock all the doors, the robbers wouldn't break in. Maybe if you hid all your valuable stuff, the robbers wouldn't even be there in the first place. Maybe if you just moved the hell out of the city, you wouldn't be shot dead by those robbers. That's what you take away. That you can never be too careful. Alas, Mrs. Lucia had told you to challenge these thoughts. Come up with negations. Something like, no, statistically speaking, the oven isn't going to combust and kill us all. Or maybe something along the lines of, no, Owen's watching me change. The door's closed shut. The thoughts works, for now at least. So you focus on the fact that you're an adult now. Hip hip hooray! Adulthood's so nice. It's the time of taxes, working, and loneliness. Time to be fair. And you are excited about becoming a detective. You just dread everything else. Today really was the last day of my childhood, huh? If I could even call it that. What with the last 8 years. At least today was good. I'm so glad Mother didn't get drunk while we were out. Along with that came the distinct lack of yelling, kicking, and throwing wine at you for not holding her hand. Though, that does happen sometimes even when she isn't drunk. Oh my god, my mom used to get so pissed off at me when I wouldn't kiss her, hug her. She said, oh, you didn't even love me anymore. But I hated the texture of her skin, dude. It was terrible. Every time it was a screaming match. I can't help but give her a pass when it comes to that, though. Why, it was around this time that Father died. No wonder emotions are so high. Besides that, Mother's taking my adulthood quite well. You can't help but think of this as a calm before the storm type situation. Sort of like before Libretto City freezes over, the weather's unusually pleasant and warm. You bury that thought under an innocent snow, like you do with so many other dishonorable thoughts. Well, what am I waiting for? I better start changing. Begin to slip your coat off. Correction, not your coat. It belonged to Father. Mother insists that you wear it. She figured you'd have grown into it by now. And indeed you did. You're practically the spitting image of him. Just like Father. While you were out on the streets, you managed to attract the gaze of several women and men. You were sure it wasn't from revulsion this time. Surprisingly, you don't hate yourself today. Not as much as usual. It's a good start to adulthood, and a good end to your childhood, even if it wasn't perfect. Oh, God. It doesn't occur to you that she's watching. Mother swings open the door, with a rather cross expression glued to her face. You quietly shrug your coat back up. And here she is, right in the flesh, pissed at you for some reason. Again! What did you do this time? And if you did something, how did you not realize it? And if you did realize it, why didn't you apologize sooner? Your mind's going off on a pretty bad tangent. You genuinely don't know what you did this time. Which is pretty normal for you, but this time you really can't think of any reason. You just can't have this one day without her going off on you, can you? Oh, Mother, what are you doing here? Man, what could you possibly want from me this time? All you ever do is nag and yell at me and hit me, bro. And throw things at me, you suck. And insult me. This is my house, Oliver. My room. Yep, my mom did that too! She did that shit too! Dang. I was going to change. You're an adult now, aren't you? Right. You've grown out of me, haven't you? Wait, no, I haven't. Why else would you lock the door again, even after telling you dozens of times to leave it open? Yeah, so you can watch me, you pervert? Oh yeah, my mom used to do that shit too. Oh, it was a bitch. I hated her. Damn. She'd do all this shit to me, bro. She was the same person as this woman. The same person. She was also very creepy. She did a lot of creepy shit to me. I was changing my clothes. The straight truth, nothing omitted, nothing sugar-coated. I don't want your excuses. I want your door open because what if something bad happens to you? That's exactly why I locked it. So you don't get in here and something bad's happening to me right now. So I'm a threat to you? No, I mean, I don't mean it like that. What's gotten into you? You've grown out of me, right? Where's all this coming from? See how you're now yelling at me. You were yelling at me! It's the same thing. This is the first time I'm hearing about me growing out of you. You were hoping that Mother didn't fly into a rage today. Well, a man can only dream. You want to know why I think that? You've shown me, and you don't give me the Mother. I don't really think that. You should have learned that actions speak louder than words from your stupid journalism classes. Here you are, locking your door, leaving the house without telling me, and giving those those people the time of day. Where'd that last part come from? You're so happy that you're gaining attention from a bunch of brats, right? I saw the way you looked at those... Yeah, I can't have a normal relationship at all. I'm just happy that I look decent for a change. We all know that no one likes a narcissist, Ollie. Oh, you mean you? Or you takes one to know one. Aside from that, it's like I've been telling you, I'm always going to be your child, even now that I'm an adult. And you're always going to be my mother. Something you've had to reassure her a few too many times. You're sure as hell won't act like it. I already know every inch of your body. I carried you for all 9 godforsaken months. Yeah. Yep, you know it all, don't you? So quit knowing it and leave me the hell alone. So why hide away from me if you're my child? My child! I can do whatever I want to you! I can touch you wherever you want! I can do whatever I want to you! You don't deserve privacy. You're my child. I can do whatever I want to you. I don't care about how you feel. Your feelings are stupid. All I care about is me. How I feel. Is that not important? You belong to me. You're my property. You had no problem allowing those people to look your way. I don't give a shit about... They're just every home wrecker out there. You're my baby doll. Mine. People can look at you all they want. Why else would I take you everywhere with me? But you can't give attention to those lustful idiots. That's why I'm pissed about. And as your mother, I don't see why you're more okay with those degenerates than me, your own mother. I've come to realize that I just need a little bit of space. Miss Lucia told you that it would be a good idea to establish boundaries. Ah, what boundaries? Boundaries don't exist in this household. It's my house. It's my house. There's no boundaries. I can do whatever I want because it's my house. I don't care about you. Sorry, I'm projecting. Like, this story is getting me so much because I relate to it so much. So I'm just projecting my own story into this. You hope that the doors would be enough, and you wouldn't have to actually confront Mother. Ah, I see. That therapist is injecting those delusions into your head. I knew that sending you there was a mistake. My one chance at fixing you, and she just had to go screw it up. Here I was, thinking she'd give you pills, a cold, hard solution. But no, she's just making you talk. What's whining about everything's supposed to do for you? I hope it would stop you from going into the deep end again. Somehow must still see us making you worse. You don't know how this is worse than your sliced up, bloody body being found by Mother. You just had to do it in a way that she found you, huh? You're training to be a detective. Surely she could have made you disappear instead of that. Reading so deeply into crime articles could have done you some good if you successfully disappeared. It's all something you hate thinking about. You hate that you even have those thoughts. You wish you could give up your life to someone who actually wants to live. Only then would you not hate these thoughts. Sweetie, I know that what this woman is doing. She's gonna make you spill everything out to her and then hurt you later. I know how women like that work. Why are you able to tell her so much, but you're so private with me, your own mother? Because my emotions don't mean anything to you. That's obvious from how you treat me. Why would I tell you anything when you're gonna use it against me and then say that, like, you know, you're not going to, like, it's all about you. My emotions are not about me, ever. You're always gonna use it as a way to make it yourself a victim of my own emotions. What do you think of my advice is so horrible? You listen more to this random bit. I trust you more, but I still don't get why you're bringing all this up to me of all times. You freaking liar! Are you really just saying all this about trusting me to shut up? Shut me up? Yes, absolutely yes. No, I'm not saying it just for you to shut up. You feel her eyes scanning your body from head to toe. Yeah, she's attracted to him, like his father, probably. You're now old enough to run into the arms of some adulteress and leave me rot alone. Well, you know what? That sounds better of life than this. But because of how much I love you, I'll never let her take you from me. That's what you're worried about? Someone taking me from you? You don't get why she's worried about that. You've already resolved yourself to stay with Mother until she dies. You're trying to make me out to be the crazy one. You are. Amazing, just amazing coming from you of all people. You half expected her to grab your wrists and force your coat and sweater sleeves up. Thankfully, you chose to do it on your upper arm instead of your forearm. Mother, I'm not saying that you're crazy. All I want to know is why you're so concerned now of all times. I already told you, being 18 and all, you're going to leave me here to waste away, all for some frivolous affairs. I want those temptations in your head to be smothered out. Now, what were you doing before I entered? Changing, right? Go on, if you're going to treat me like we're equal, you should have no problem doing that. Like a deer in headlights, you freeze up. What's with the hesitation? You don't want to do it? No. Your defiance won't get you anywhere. Take it off. Oh my god! Why is she doing the same thing my mom did? Why? Off comes the dark coat. Even with the sweater on, you feel like a bird without its feathers. Her gaze tells you she's dissatisfied. Off comes the sweater. A horrible mistake, really. Oh, Oliver, what have you done to yourself this time? What would your father think? You could have been him. You should have, but I didn't do that stuff to myself, you see. I didn't do that, you know, the cutting. I didn't make slashes on myself. I did that after I was away from her. Not that I think she would necessarily care if I did and she saw it. But, I mean, she did care about looking at my body a lot when I was nude. My own mother. Creepy bitch. Pervert. She was a pervert. I'm sorry. My mom was a straight up pervert. That's why... I don't know. That's why I relate to this so much. She's a, I don't know, pedophile, I guess. Child molester, whatever. Sorry, I'm ranting. I'm raving. I'm venting. on this. I'm sorry to put this all on you guys. So sorry. You can watch my draw my life on my channel in my streams if you want. If you want to hear me rant and rave about that. You could have been him. You should have. But you just had to go and do this to yourself, huh? You need to learn to be grateful that I'm here. You're my baby doll. I get to dress you up and down. If you aren't to my liking, I'll make you become what I want. You dissociate from most of it. Not the worst parts, though. Mother throws you into her room, to the bed you used to come to comfort as a child. You aren't allowed to wrap the blankets around yourself. So the centipedes crawl up your skin. Mother put them on you. They came from her. Slowly but surely they burrow into every bit of your being. They hold on tight. You beg her to stop, to which she laughs. You deserve this, she says, for daring to grow out of me. I wish you would. I wish you would. The centipedes tie the two of you too close. You feel like you're going to suffocate under all of this. Sleep doesn't come easy. You wish it did, since it would wash everything away. You don't know when Mother's going to wake up. You hope she doesn't wake up to your crying. Ever since then, so much has been ruined for you. Showers couldn't be enjoyed without seeing your tainted body. Showers couldn't be enjoyed for me either, because she was always watching me. She was always manipulating to get into the shower with her, into the bath with her. She was manipulating me to address and take showers in front of her, yelling and screaming at me that if I didn't do it, I didn't love her. If I didn't do that, I'd be dirty. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again, so sorry. Showers couldn't be enjoyed without seeing your tainted body. Every time Mother kissed you, you felt like the centipedes were crawling over you again. Every time she whispered in my ear, my ear just felt like it was like, ugh, I wanted to throw up. Oh my god. Her skin was so rusty, so dry, and ew. It worked, though. The centipedes anchored you to her. After all of that, how could you be away from her? How could you be an equal to her if it's meant that? You had to be her son, and she had to be your mother. Who else would take your tainted self other than Mother? You tried to bury what she did to you under snow. It almost worked, but you could still make out the silhouette. Oliver, Oliver! You snap back to now pain throbbing in your head. You half expect your ego to begin giggling at the sight of you crying. What is it you want now? You want to give him a piece of your mind, reminding you of all that. You were so close to burying it. You shouldn't have to, dude. He pulls you into a hug, much to your surprise. I get why you want to bury it all. It's easier than relieving it. You bury your head into his arms. I'm sorry you had to go through all of this. But you can't keep denying what happened. Just like when you keep denying Adelia's involvement in Emma's murder. I don't know why we stay with her when she does that to us. I don't have anyone left. She does hurt me a lot. So you rather be with someone who hurts you instead with someone, rather to be with someone who hurts you than by yourself? I'd rather be by myself than with someone who hurts me. Sorry. Bye. I don't know how much more I can take, and it's been like this ever since Father died. But if I don't stay, I really will be all alone. You know me best. Everyone I care about just disappears, except for Mother. Father never solved Miss Barrett's case. I never saw Miss Lucia again after being transferred over. Well, we already know who did that. That was Mom. And Emma, Besides, it was Father's last wish. I have to take care of Mother. I have to stay with her. Screw your father. What if I told you that the assumption was wrong? All we heard from Father was take care of your... before seeing Adelia, right? He never finished his last words. He loved you more than that monster of a woman. I know he did. That's why I wanted you to realize that maybe, just maybe, you're tying us to her for no reason. All of your memories of her, they've all been horrible. How can what she did bring us closer to her? We now have an easy way to get her away from us. There's no way in hell she didn't order that hit. What makes you so certain? You don't see it? You do see the motivation. Ever since you saw Emma's torn up breasts, it's been in the back of your mind. Emma liked you. You gave her the time of day. That's all it took for her to end up in the Cardinal River. But you didn't like to think of that, and how it tied back to your 18th birthday. It made you feel grosser than usual. If you just send her to prison, you'll be free from the chains that bind you to this broken family. What do you say? Oh, guys, we all know that I will. We all know that I will. Get her out. So, I can't even go back and say I can't do that. You know what? You're right. I'm sick of all this. I'm sick of the ball. I'm sick of her hurting me. Even when I do what she wants, she's never satisfied. It's the same. And in all honesty, it's starting to feel more and more like she's actively looking for a fight. It doesn't matter how good I am to her. Guess what, Emma? Was the last straw, huh? Guess that Emma was the last straw, huh? I guess so. I know that we were just friends, maybe just acquaintances, but being around Emma, I didn't feel so on edge. She listened, and I know that it's just basic manners, but I didn't feel like I had to pretend around her. Those other people in your life made you feel the same, right? They did, but Emma was around for so long that I guess I got too attached. It's okay to get attached. A thought pops into your mind. One you never would have had until this dream. One that's been stewing in the back of your head ever since your 18th birthday. I wonder if she lied. I wonder if Adela had lied. About what? About Miss Lucida. According to Mother Adela, Miss Lucia said I was too much to handle, and that's why I was transferred over. Shortly after that appointment with Dr. Hampton, I saw a missing persons poster for her. I knew it! She killed her too! I can't help but wonder how many more bodies are under Cardinal River. I say that because Miss Lucia went missing during the winter when the river was frozen over. You know how I only found Emma after going under myself? It wouldn't shock me if there were more bodies. For the longest time I thought that it was my fault. That maybe I was the one bringing misfortune to them. Exactly what Adelia wanted. I don't know how I didn't see any of this earlier. It was staring me right in the face. You're not calling her mother. That's new. I can't call her mother anymore. Because when I think of Mother, I think of those happy times we had together. And when I think of how much she might love me under all these arguments, maybe she did at some point in a healthy way, but Adelia is who I am able to see now. Adelia Hollows, a woman who butchered Emma Greenwood. It's still terrifying, the fact that she is a murderer. No, I mean, what happens afterwards? The house is going to be so hollow without her. No, it's going to be filled with so much joy when she's gone. You have no idea. And I just can't see myself with anyone. That's the thing, though. You're never really going to be alone. You remember how when all this started, Adelia was all pissed about you visiting the graveyard? I'll bet that it was all to make you forget that you're never alone. She wanted you to forget that I'll always be here with you. You melt into his arms. What if my last words were, take care of yourself? That's what I said. Slowly the snowfall comes to a halt. Around the two of you, the frozen forest falls over. Moths begin to break out of the forest, fluttering their wings. All kinds of memories fill your head. Some of them are horrible, much like the ones you've seen thus far. But the others are of the happy times you had in your life. Before this moment, your last memories of father consisted of coughed-up blood, a hospital bed, and a burial. Whenever you thought of him, those terrifying memories flooded your head. Rarely did it consist of happy times you had together. It was your childhood, the childhood Adela stole from you the moment father died. The childhood she ripped to shreds when you turned 18. You miss him. You know that this dream would end soon, along with this vision of father. Maybe you'll be able to remember this moment instead of the grief from his death. You hope so. You hope. You also hope that it'll give you the strength to comfort her, to put a stop to all she's done. It's not going to be easy, is it? It won't be. But I know you have it in you. I know that you'll be able to let go of her. Just like I know you'll be able to let go of me. This is the end of the chapter. Do you like to save? Yeah. Well, chapter 4. Oh, you can return here once chapter 5 justice is complete. What? No! Justice was so close in my hands. My very hands. I wanted to see her go down, 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 down. Sorry. What if I say no? I'll stick with mom. Bro. I can't do that! I'm sorry. Why? What makes you think I even want to be free from her? I know that somewhere in there she loves me. You're not really gonna try to defend her, right? She knows what's best for me, what's best for us. She's always had good intentions. The words come out with a tremble. Ha! Killing a girl to make you stay. Good intentions. All I know is that she needs me. And I need her. Alright then, let's just address the current issue. How exactly do you propose on staying with her? If you need to arrest her sorry ass for Emma's murder. I don't have enough evidence to prove she even did murder Emma. Yes, but you know that she was involved somehow. Eventually, someone's gonna find something. Then she'll go to prison right where she belongs. It's the easiest way to get the freaking hell away from her. What if I don't want to be away from her? Even after all she's done to you? Even after reliving those memories? Somewhere amongst all those horrible memories are happy ones with her. Maybe I could relive those again if I'm just a better son. I won't let a few bad memories spoil the fact that we still love each other. You resolve is undeterred. You're not about to let some nightmare rip you apart from your dear mother, right? That would make you a horrible son. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And if you're a horrible son, she'll dispose of you like the doll you are. Then you won't have anyone. You can't let that happen, can you? You're still gonna try and solve Emma's case, though. Her death is exactly why you can't be with anyone else but Mother. Your ego stares at you with dead eyes. He almost looks like Father, but with an expression only Mother could make. This image makes you almost glad Father's dead. You spared him the disappointment of seeing his son like this. Well then, Oliver, you have to have quite a twisted definition of love. Yes, let me stay around so she can keep hurting me, and I'll try to be the perfect son that I was never in the beginning the perfect son. I was never in the middle a perfect son. I was never in the end a perfect son. So maybe if I stay, I can somehow prove that I'm the perfect son. If I just, reach her very end, maybe her dying words will be like, oh, now I realize you're a perfect son. When I'm like in my late 30s or something. I mean, the woman doesn't even look old. She looks pretty young. So when I'm in my 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, I'll dedicate my life to my abusive mother. And then her dying words will be to me, oh yeah, maybe you were perfect because you stayed with me the whole time. Yeah, no, that's not good enough, guys. That's not good enough of a reward. To have someone who hated you throughout your whole life finally be like, oh yeah, maybe you are pretty cool. That's not good enough. Sorry. Not good enough for me. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not worth it. And if you're stuck in a situation right now, and you feel like you have to be better, when you've tried your best. I mean, it depends on your definition of trying your best, because there's situations where people who are the abuser thinks they're trying their best. I think people should thoroughly examine their behaviors and their relationships and how they hold relationships, because it can better their, it can make not only healthier relationships for the people around them, but for themselves to have with other people. So I think if how your behavior is, you should deeply just take into account your actions and your own emotional state, instead of, like, and once you ground yourself and find out maybe you're not such a bad person, or maybe this is an action that I can change, or this is a behavior I can change, and maybe I'll feel better after this, or this is a problem I've been struggling with, and maybe it's hurting some relationships in my life. Maybe I can change. Like, maybe it's that. I think it's all up to you ultimately to figure out how to conduct your own self, because you can't if you do something terrible like kill somebody, you can't blame someone else for it. I mean, and then again, there's also things that like contradict that statement too. I'm not going to get into all the details of this. Listen, there's very stressful situations where people are so abusive, like, maybe murdering them feels like the only way out. Then can we really condemn those people? I don't know. It's like, it's difficult. There's even victims of stalking who don't murder their stalker. There's victims, whose family members have died, and they don't go after the murderer. They just want justice. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's a lot of examples, I guess. I'm waiting for the justice, though. I'm waiting for the justice in this. Can't wait to read the rest of this, because I want to see the mother go down with the iron fist of the law. Crash it on her. Make her pay. Make her suffer. And let that guy, talk to someone about, letting her go down for, I think, what happened here. It's that she basically kind of, put her hands on him in a very disgusting, filthy way, which makes her kind of a hypocrite because she called everybody else those words, but herself was the words that she was calling everyone else. That's why she did that to her own son. Disgusting. Ew. Gross. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Cardinal Park case like I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the screwed up story like I did, and I related it to it so much. It's freaking unreal. It is freaking unreal. It's freaking unreal how much I relate to this story. Can't wait to read the rest though someday. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.